Hey, everyone. No technical difficulties here.
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all.
Smooth as butter. Is that what the kids say nowadays?
Yes. Right after they say groovy, it's yeah.
Groovy. Hey, how's everybody doing? Clay, did I even? Sorry, I didn't even let you do a hey now.
You have audio?
Oh well.
You're
Clay,
muted.
That's what happens when you try.
Yeah. Clay was like, I'm going to try and install something before the show. And
That's what happens when you mess with the forces of nature, Clay.
Oh no. Clay looked God in the eye and said, F you, like an anime child.
Like an anime child.
Okay, I've got a question for you because, Daniel, you're young enough, you might know, maybe you know the answer to this, but a friend of mine went to an anime store with his daughter in Arlington yesterday.
Oh, I know that store.
Awesome. I want to go to that store, yes. Tell me more.
But it's something called weeb. What the hell is a weeb? It's some new term or some, I guess, derogatory term for anime fans?
Weebs are like the super hardcore anime fans.
Why weeb? I don't get it. I get otaku. That coming from the Japanese culture, but what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
okay.
I think it comes from a slang or the slander from what they call non-native people in Japan, like weebelos or something. I don't know. There's a word they use, and they just kind of use it off of that. But I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, I've come to learn that for kids these days, they often don't care or understand the origins of certain terms. I was reading someone on Twitter the other day posted a dialogue, and it was like I'm playing a PlayStation game with my son, and he
just Clay's face when he walked in, like, oh.
I know, that was great. Anyway, this guy was like, I was playing a PlayStation game with my son, and he got his score, and he went, nice, 69. And I'm just like super quiet, and then he looks at me all disgusted, like, I don't know what's up. He's like, yeah, Dad, that's a really popular meme. No one knows why it's 69.
Oh my God.
Well, no one under a certain age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
So.
Well, you know what? Good for them. Good for these kids living a clean life. Not more
Clean my ass.
Living a clean life.
Around. Hey, Clay, you're back and we can hear you.
Oh my God. I will do something stupid again. I'm going to say that I'm going to do it again. I don't know why I'm admitting.
What are you going to install next? I mean, that had to be the issue. What are you going to install next?
It's exactly what it was. It switched all my audio to something else.
Oh, no.
And then, I had to and then of course, then StreamYard picked it up. And so everything was shut off and turned to an application that wasn't even ready to run. So.
Oh, no. That's not good.
Yay.
Well, you're here now, and everything's working. That's the important thing.
Hey, so yes. Josh says.
True.
All
Very
right.
True.
What's next?
Well, Clay, you wanna hey now?
Hey now.
There we go. Now it feels like a show. Oh.
Previously on next issue,
we did find live footage of Clay while he was fixing his computer. Come on. Hold on. Oh, my computer. No. Oh, no, I'm tempting fate.
No. It's that kind of Sunday, let me tell you.
Well, if it does it, luckily I'm running two computers, so you shouldn't lose me technically. But I don't know if we'll ever get that image up. So if it comes up at any time,
I'm gonna pull that clip and make a GIF.
Acknowledge it.
Great.
All right.
I'm gonna play that at my daughter's graduation.
Well, after this, it's funny. Like it's all Chrome that's happening, but
don't use Chrome. How many times I gotta say this?
After the success we've had here,
that's funny because Chrome's what I'm on. I have no problems.
Yeah, it's my shitty computer.
Yeah, it is my shitty computer too.
Well, wait. Are all three of you using PC?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on the Mac.
Well, mine's also 10 years old, so
yeah. Hey, my PC's doing great. It's HP gaming PC, chugging along, doing just fine. So
I do want to get a Mac. I agree with you. I thought about getting a new iPad, but I think I'm just gonna get a Mac instead.
I'll say this:
they are nice.
Oh yeah.
I need
Anyways.
both. I want something I can do video in a lot better than what Windows can do, and I want to be
Yeah.
able to play more games.
Yeah.
So, maybe we should start a Patreon to get some.
Literally, I was thinking that this morning as we were putting it together. Like, let's get everyone
If
new computers
if it wasn't
through our
so-
Patreon.
if it wasn't so complicated to figure out all that like legal stuff with taxes and all that, I would have already looked into getting us a Patreon started, because I know there's some
Is it
people
hard?
that I mean, I just
Shelby's done it. She set hers up, and
yeah, but she's an individual. We're 4 different people, so like, who does the tax burden go on?
You.
It's a whole thing. I've looked into it. Yeah,
It goes to the professional accountant in the group. That's who it goes
Exactly. You handle finances. You deal with it.
No.
to.
Let's move on to our. That's what the people came to see. Just
Oh yeah.
they don't want to hear your tax scam.
Listen, pay your taxes. Although, man, the government are never. You know what? I don't want to go down that.
No, don't. I've already.
Yeah,
I myself and a few
Wesley
other friends.
Snipes was right. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about taxes.
Wesley
Wesley
Snipes?
Snipes was right.
role model.
I'm going to put it this way: there's so many days that I agree with Ron Swanson's view of the government.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god!
All right. Now to comics. Or
Wait,
next.
this is a comic podcast.
Yeah, no.
I think so.
Sometimes.
That's what I heard. Oh,
Okay.
there we go. And now it's
There we
official.
go. Now we have a segment.
Now's the banner. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I will. I will, since my mic's working right now.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that does Comixology subscription?
No,
Probably.
No,
Oh,
I do.
Like they're unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Because one of the books I was excited to read was Snow Angel by Jeff Lemire and Jock. I mean, it's a beautiful book, but it's also like it's Jeff Lemire. So he kind of creates this world you get to play in for 4 issues, and it's just so brief, but it's part of a bigger story. Wait on it, because it seems like it could be very epic from where it starts. But I read through it so fast that it was like, I'm done. I want more. I didn't get a satisfying ending, but then you continue it in another series. So, and it looks like Jock has his own page of exclusives with Comixology. So I'm kind of curious of what other books he's going to be working on as well.
So they're gonna do a continuation of that book, because I read the first issue and I was like, this is fine, but I think it'll read better altogether.
Yeah, because they set up a world. I mean, imagine trying to set up Snowpiercer in 22 pages.
Right.
Oh my
That's
god.
That's kind of what they do, though. They set it up pretty good.
One of the challenges I feel for an artist like Jacques is he works a lot with the dark backgrounds and big broad strokes. So having a background where it's like mostly ice, I think that was it was definitely jarring for me to see his art in something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to him working with so much color and brightness.
Yeah, it is a weird take. The next book that I think we're going to do an episode on, The Nice House on the Lake by James Tynion.
Yeah.
I need to read that.
Oh my God, the cover I got's really messed up. I don't know if it's the variant or not.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay. I figure you'll drop a copy into the screen, right? Awesome.
Give me a sec.
Wow.
I don't know. It's weird. It's James Tynion. I'm into it. I'm on board. But the first issue doesn't set up enough for me, so I can't really comment as much. I know Daniel was excited about it.
Oh yeah, I did a full review, which I'll post the video on the link on the chat on the description. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I just like there's something, like I said, there's something about James Tynion not writing superheroes that when he has more control of the world he's building, There you go. That's the Simmons variant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh wow.
It's really cool. And then here's the. Oh, whoops. There we go. This is the normal variant.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean the normal cover.
Oh, so that's by
That's by Alvaro Martinez. Bueno.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Very cool.
You-
I love the
Poltergeist
premise.
vibe.
Yeah.
I was getting Ring vibe, when she's in the well. So
Oh yeah. But yeah, and then the name.
spoilers, I guess. So.
The name obviously is a play on the last house on the left type of. That's what I got out of like that whole thing immediately, right? Tinian's a fan of horror, so I recommend this
Books are
book.
creepy.
I recommend this book. It's interesting that it's going through DC Black Label.
Yeah. That's what
an
I'm
interesting choice. Yeah. Are
That-
they going to
that's-
break out that more?
That's again why I asked, like, is Black Label now kind of their new Vertigo
Yeah,
for these
I think so.
standalone, out of universe stories? So
I think they finally realized that, like, hey, let's get Tinian to do indie books on our label instead of in somebody else.
instead of going to Image, right? Which is where most of them seem to go with
Yeah,
this stuff.
Image
so.
or Boom, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back Epic. I miss Epic.
That would be fascinating. That'd be really fascinating to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Marvel doesn't have anything like Black Label, do they?
No.
Not anymore.
They had Max for a while, and that was
That's
their
right,
adult,
yeah.
but it never had anything out of Marvel Universe. Another Shudder movie I got to brag about. This is pretty awesome. Psycho Gorman. And I think we're going to try to watch the trailer at the end of the show.
I'm not showing a picture of that. We looked it up last time, and I didn't like it.
Imagine two kids being able to control a Cenobite.
Fuck
You know,
no.
this-
No.
you know the Cenobites from
Is
Clive
it from
Barker's
Yeah.
Hellraiser?
From, Hellraiser. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Psycho Gorman has that Cenobite vibe, and these kids have a crystal that can control him, and that is Psycho Gorman.
Wow.
So I really suggest anyone. I mean, it's just weird and fun, and then it gets even weirder. So, but Joe, what you want to watch the trailer at the end of the show?
Yeah, let's do that at the end of the show.
Okay.
That way I can close my eyes and not watch. I've been through too much shit this week already, man. I can't do anymore.
All right, but yeah, that's what I've been reading and watching.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Nice house on the lake. All right, I'll go next. Well, I guess though we're going to do this kind of clockwise, right? So let's go with Kyle, or clockwise. So let's go with Kyle. Let's try to bring some order to this thing.
Okay, so I read Iron Man #8. We're still dealing with the Korvac saga, but they're in space. They're being chased by Korvac's followers, and you have Hellcat, who's sort of like in a psychic coma. And you find out that she basically meets up with Moondragon, who basically is trying to help her realize you have psychic ability. I want to help you deal with these powers instead of going back into a comatose state, which apparently happened somewhere in the past. And so she has to deal with her past tragedies, and she eventually wakes up and goes, hey, let me help you guys get out of here. And again, we're dealing with a team that has Frogman, Scarlet Spider. What was his name from the Defenders? Gargoyle.
Oh.
Yeah. And Rhodey. And they're about to. The issue ends like, where the hell is Tony? And so nobody knows where the hell Tony is because he was originally dealing with psychic backlash with Korvac in the last issue.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, our viewers want to know: did Frogman make it to space?
Yes,
So
he even says, "I'm about to upchuck at one point because they're flying so roughly." And even Scarlet Spider, like they even have a nice homage of where Misty Knight's in there too, and you have Misty Knight and Scarlet Spider doing basically a Han Solo, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, when they're basically trying to take on the TIE fighters during the little gunship cockpits and trying to shoot, like saying, can you please keep them from getting any closer? Like, look, if they get any closer, their tailpop's going to be at my butt. So it's like,
this is Ben Reilly, right?
Yeah. This is Ben Reilly. Yeah.
Man, I like Kane so much better.
Oh, hell no.
But most people like Ben Reilly better, which is why he's been most.
I loved Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider. I hate it when they killed him, but I didn't also like it when they made him Spider-Man. When Peter thought he was the clone, and But I loved him when he had the orange suit and just the Scarlet Spider. I love that character.
Yeah.
I read the new Amazing Spider-Man, which they are going back. Josh might remember this character, but so we're reintroduced to Peter's sister, who's basically broken into this compound to free the Chameleon to find out, because the Chameleon was the one responsible for Peter's parents' death.
Right.
And then you have another one where Betty Grant shows up pregnant, having Ned Leeds kid.
Okay.
So Ned Leeds was basically, you find out he about a couple years ago, Ben Reilly was the new oh god, what was the character's name? He was basically
The
cloned.
Jackal. He was the Jackal.
And he basically cloned a lot of people. So the Ned Leeds that's alive.
Holy crap! What?
Oh, you missed the last the clone conspiracy, huh?
That was
What?
it wasn't much better than the first one, but at least we got Ben Reilly back.
It was used to bring back a bunch of characters, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just makes. Oh my god! All right. Sorry. Go on.
Anyway,
and to make Peter Parker poor again, I think.
yeah. And then basically you also have this. I don't know who the kid is, but Peter's working with this one other EU student to work on like this medallion that has like some kind of power source. And then of all the villains to show up, who's been hired by Silver Sable, is Chance. Do you remember
Oh
Chance?
shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Chance shows back, and I'm like, where have you been for the last 20 years? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
No shit. Oh, that's cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
So like they are going old school with this Spider story, and I'm kind of I'm okay with this. So
I might have to dive in then. I stay as far away from any storyline that involves the Clone Saga because it just upsets me so much.
this isn't dealing with the Clone Saga. It's just dealing with the fact that it's one of the clones that Peter let go and
Got
didn't
it.
tell Betty that he was back. There
Is
we
that
go.
Chance?
God, there he
my
is. Yeah, look at
God,
that.
Chance.
And
Yes.
the pencil thin mustache. They kept
have
it. I
to-
love it.
I had to Google this character because I've never heard of them.
Oh my God, he is.
Oh, dude, yeah.
My first time ever reading him was in a Daredevil issue in the 1980s, and it was just like,
Oh, I think I first saw him in Spider-Man. So.
yeah. And then he appeared in Spider-Man. I think that, but Daredevil I think, might have been his first appearance.
Didn't McFarlane draw an issue with him in it? I have this very
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have this very vivid memory of McFarlane's interpretation of that character. So
It ends up with an episode where, so basically, he's a villain, but he's sort of borders that line of villain / anti-hero because he's like a hire. You hire him for doing stuff.
he's a
And so it basically ends up with Chance of Spider-Man at the end of the issue ends up jumping on Chance's back and ride him so he can get a ride back to the city. He's like, Yahoo!
there it is. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
A chance encounter. I love it.
Two
I love it.
issues before
Oh my God.
the infamous issue 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember
So-
Chance?
I remember this cover.
Well, he's in the newest issue of Amazing Spider-Man. He makes a reappearance in like 20 years. It's like they're going old school with some of the characters. Like Silver Sable makes an appearance. Chance makes an appearance. It's like they're going old school with Spider-Man Civil War. I'm like, this is the Spider-Man that I want.
Who's writing it?
Nick Spencer.
Yeah.
Nick Spencer's still writing
Nick
it, but
Spencer.
Ryan Notley's not on art anymore because he's moving to another book that we found out this week,
Yeah.
which we may talk about after our
And
main
then-
topic.
And my last one is Heroes Reborn #5, where it's basically Nighthawk's book. And oh my God, do they basically rip all of Spider-Man's history and give it to him. He went to Battleworld and brought back the alien suit.
Really?
Oh, okay,
Wow.
that's cool.
He jumps
That
into
is cool.
He jumps into Ravencroft, and the person who's doing the breakout in Ravencroft is the Green Goblin. There's Gwen Stacy, who comes and has been affected by a certain virus. It's like, are you shitting me? He's got the Hawk Cave and the Hawk Rod. He goes, yes, the Hawk Rod.
Oh,
Is
boy.
the car is named by Sam.
Hawk
You realize
Rod.
that Sam Falcon was his sidekick. It's like, what is
Is this
going
a-
on?
Is this an adult comic? What's happening here?
Why would Sam be his
Right.
sidekick?
don't
That's
know.
a weird.
Oh.
Why would
That-
Sam be his sidekick?
Or maybe his partner, but it was still. It's just like, and
Okay,
he's a senator in DC. Goes down to the cave and he has a giant dinosaur and everything else. I mean, it's Batman. They're ripping off Batman so hard, but yet giving him Spider-Man's history. It's like,
Well, that explains the Nightwing, what do you call it, thing that it's going to happen. So if she's supposed to be part of Nighthawk's crew, and Nightwing, obviously, because he's the Batman guy.
And then-
so yeah.
and then I saw they had an image at the very end of the next issues dealing with Power Princess, and I am sorry. The only thing different about this not being Wonder Woman is the fact she's not wearing star-spangled shorts.
Yes. They just can't say Themyscira, otherwise it'd be the same thing.
Oh my god!
Tell me this is a Nightwing.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a dope cover, but this is definitely Nightwing.
Okay, for once, I'm actually enjoying. I gotta say, I'm enjoying it because it's absurd. The first Heroes Reborn was just a massive mess because they wanted to give other artists a chance. This one is just so absurd of what they're doing with the Marvel Universe. I know, and there's even a backstory where basically it's Nighthawk fighting Ronin, and Ronin teleports to a jungle, and you realize it's T'Challa, and he goes, "You don't belong here. Who are you?" And then you see Blade, and an out of ice, fully bearded Captain America goes, "You're right. I don't either, and neither do you, T'Challa." And so you realize the Avengers are kind of realizing they're in this altered kind of universe state. So it's like it's so absurd, and the fact that the Squadron Supreme are getting the focus of everything, I'm just like, this is the kind of crossover that's pure fun. It's idiocracy, but it's just pure fun.
Did you get these when you got issue 1?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
what?
They did the old school cards.
Wow, look at that. Boy, does that bring back
these are
pre-bankrupt Marvel.
Yeah, these are spoilers because they're labeled as hero or villain. So I didn't know that going in.
Marvel is going where they should. They're just doing pure, almost 1980s, early 90s kind of fun Marvel stories here.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
that's really fascinating. All right. God, you've almost sold me on this. I may have to go.
I like the main issues. I don't want to dive in. The tie-ins look like it's going to be so cumbersome.
The two I read, the Peter Parker Shutterbug and
I want to read that one.
Secret Society are both worth reading. But this looks, I'm going to have to check this out. Gwen, oh my God.
Yeah, this looks cool. Like all these covers, like I just want a book with her now like this.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a DC Infinite Futures cover.
Yeah, it does. Totally.
Hey, DC, take some notes.
oh my God. Look at that one.
Wow.
Jeez. That's so cool.
I haven't been this is just pure fun. Between the Spider-Man, bringing back the old school stuff, and this, I'm just like, okay, now I feel like I'm a kid back in the 80s reading comic books again when there was no serious stories. It was just you read a comic book for pure entertainment.
No rules.
Thank you.
No rules. See, I may wait until it's collected and on sale. That's the thing with these event books.
That's a good point.
I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying it should be read. You need to at least read it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have read it before until you started saying how much fun it was.
Same here.
I'm in that, but I'm not going to pay full price in 6 months. That's the thing with event books. 6 months it'll be on sale.
Exactly. I'm fine with that. But it's out of all the event books that have come out in the last 5 or 6 years, maybe 10. This is just pure fun. No, it's not A versus X. Phoenix Force is coming back. It's not fucking Civil War 1 and 2. It's like this is just somebody's rewrote history. The Squadron Supreme is getting to be the Justice League of the Marvel heroes. And now
War of the Realms was pretty fun. That was a weird crossover. It wasn't a copy of something old, and watching the Punisher just go into Asgard and take out trolls and shit. It's fun as hell.
It was fun, but I'm having more fun with this one than I did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, they're both Jason Aaron, so
that's true.
It does seem like if I'm hearing you correctly, Kyle, it is nice to see a big event book where the stakes are not turned to 11, right?
Thank you.
Where the stakes are a little lower, and so you don't go into it thinking like, oh my God, what's going to happen to this character? You go in with just like what's going to happen, and that's nice. So.
I mean, Dr. Doom having the Crystal of Cybertech and becoming the Juggernaut, the fact that Hyperion went right and crashed through Galactus' head. It's stupidity, but it's like, this is fun because it's like there are no rules. It's like, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm buying the main issues. I'm gonna wait for the.
And the fact they come with those cards is kind of badass too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really cool. I kind of want them for the cards. I mean, that's pretty neat.
I may still have my old set, and I can put them together.
I have a binder still of Series 3 that I haven't gotten rid of yet.
Okay, I have an absolutely serious question for Daniel. Daniel, do you remember those cards?
I'm gonna say probably no.
So I don't remember them from the time, but I have since then looked into getting some sets.
Got it. Okay.
Because they look cool. They have amazing art. And so many cool people worked on them, and But
keep the video going. I'm gonna see if I have my binder here real quick. Just keep it going.
okay, yeah. Hold on.
Well, because they featured artists that aren't doing work anymore for Marvel, like the Hildebrands, that sort of
Travis
stuff.
Charest, didn't he do some cards?
Yeah.
Keep the video going. Really got me like, no. We're stopping this podcast. While Kyle, you know what? I'll say this while Kyle's gone because you'll be angry. No, I'm just kidding. I'll say I want to get his reaction, but I'll go on to what I been looking into since we're going clockwise now. So I watched The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It, which is the third Conjuring movie on HBO.
And
it was fine. It's not. I feel like there's diminishing returns. So like the first one is my favorite, and then the second one's not as good, but it's still pretty good, and then this one is not as good as the first two.
is it James Wan still?
No, it's the guy who did Curse of La Llorona, Juan Carlos something, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, but it's not James Wan. He's still involved with the story, but my main issue was that the Warrens are at the forefront of the story in this one.
Yeah.
And overall, like, I know this is based on true events, but the Warrens, like, I feel like they're kind of hucksters, like, you know?
They are hucksters.
I mean, in real
none of
life,
this is
yeah.
true. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we watched a Discovery Plus special on them, and it talked about like how involved they were. But if you look up the real history, like I think in the second movie where they have the poltergeist of the house, I think they weren't even allowed to be in the house. Like the people there didn't like them and had problems with them. Like you can find
poltergeist.
We're talking about The Conjuring.
The Conjuring
okay.
movies, yeah.
Because I watched the new movie this week.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk ill of the dead, but it is a con. They conned everyone. They were in on the Amityville Horror House too. The Lutzes were running that con, and there's no real footage of anything decent on anything that they've done.
I don't mind when the story is just like self-contained about one family that doesn't really affect anything. This one's obviously about a trial of somebody who actually died, and even then, like if you want to watch a trial position movie, watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think that's a better movie. But yeah, this was fine. What I do want, and this goes along with something I read this week. They're doing Conjuring comics now, based on artifacts from their basement. And if I don't get that fucking haunted samurai story,
Damn.
because they just happen to have a samurai armor in their basement.
Wait, you don't?
I mean, I have haunted items all around me. You know, it's just, you know, I imagine they're going down into their basement and just pulling out shit they haven't cleaned out and going, "This is a haunted drumstick. If you play it, it'll bring the dead back." So I keep it in a glass case, safe.
I don't mind more stories of like their exploits, but just don't put them at the forefront of it. I want to root for like a kid that's being possessed, so he'll get better or something like that.
Right.
I think the court case is them having to prove demons exist because the killer claims to be possessed by a devil,
right? And
so they're there to provide proof, but they're full of shit. So I just hope it's an entertaining movie because I love Patrick Wilson and Via Farmiga.
So they really carry a lot of the movie because they're very charismatic. Their chemistry between them, like you really believe that they care about each other, and it still has some like things that'll freak you out. It's still pretty good. It's an entertaining movie.
Yeah, it's an IP. It isn't anything real, but the movies are fun.
Yeah. So yeah, the universe they built, and I really want, like James Wan really kind of kicked off this new retro wave of horror where we're going back to something that we used to be, and he got us out of that torture porn.
Yeah,
type of horror,
Saw and
But then Chris Rock is bringing us back, so you can watch Jigsaw now on video on demand for like $20, I think. So if you still don't want to go, wait. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm a big fan of Chris Rock and the Saw movies, so it was giving me two things I really like. full reviews of that on the channel. I also watched.
If only John Heater had been in it.
Well, I don't mind John Heater. It's just as long as it wasn't Napoleon Dynamite. That was
Damn.
Now I want a Napoleon Dynamite Saw movie.
What? I'm not saying the film's great, but what is your hatred with Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, I just don't think it's funny, but these guys don't agree. So, anyways, we have a whole video on that too on the channel.
We did.
I watched the first episode of Sweet Tooth.
How was it?
How is it?
It's really enjoyable. Like it's so much better than Jupiter's Legacy. As far as the comic adaptation, because
Shots fired.
I also read Sweet Tooth Volume 1 for a book club in the past week.
I need
Yeah, Sweet Tooth. I've never read Sweet Tooth, so I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, it's so good.
I wish I had not read the book until after I watched this series because I kind of know where the story's going now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But the show's great. Obviously, they got Robert Downey Jr. and his wife are producing, and Jeff Lemire's been very involved with the production as well.
Will Forte's the father.
Yeah, Will Forte, amazing performance. The kid who plays Gus, aka Sweet Tooth, he's really good. The guy that plays Jeopard, I think is Anansi. I don't remember his name, the actor, but he plays Jeopard, that big dude. Really good. And then the world they built. The first episode is like an hour long. Not all of them. Yeah, not all of them are as long. It's only 8 episodes, but I think I'm gonna watch it like, take a little break in between episodes to just kind of stretch it out because I think it's gonna be a fun ride. Well, fun as in entertaining, not fun as in not gonna be soul crushingly sad.
Right. I was about to say
Because Volume 1 is super sad. But it's Jeff Lemire, so I knew what I was getting into.
Like I say, man, he can build a world with just a few words. I mean, that's what he does in Snow Angel. I can only imagine what they do in here, but Sweet Tooth is a great read if no one's read it.
Yeah, and Jeff Lemire's here.
Yeah, wow. Either that or The Conjuring. Who knows?
Yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
And then here I was waiting for Kyle to come back to talk about this. If you follow me on Twitter, you may know that I read 20 X-Men comic books yesterday because I wanted to catch up and read the Hellfire Gala issues that came out this week. So,
Oh my God!
I read
you poor bastard.
Excalibur 19 and 20, Sword number 5, X-Men 19 and 20, Children of the Atom 2 and 3, Wolverine 11 and 12, X-Force.
Daniel's half the problem why Marvel's still having issues. He reads the book you shouldn't be reading.
No, these are great. And just to prove that, I went ahead and ranked the books.
Oh God!
Because I figured I'm gonna give the viewers some guidance on what I think it's good.
Give up on X-Men. Wait till the X-Men are back in Westchester. Wait till Excalibur's back in England. Wait till
that's not. They just announced Inferno in the fall, so that's not happening anytime soon.
Wait, so they're gonna burn down Krakoa and they're gonna go back to where they're supposed to?
I don't know what's happening. There was a really cool reveal that you guys probably been waiting at the end of X-Men 20. Like you guys keep asking about this character and where they've been since Hoxpox.
Who?
You know who?
No, seriously, who?
Moira McTaggart finally shows up.
Oh, all right.
Honestly, I hadn't even thought about it recently.
Yeah, we're all very, very unimpressed with X-Men right now.
Yeah,
not all of us. So here's my ranking of my favorite books are New Mutants, Marauders, Hellions. Hellions is the Way. The Way of X book is also really good. And then Children of the Atom. Those 5 are my if I had to stop picking them up, those 5 would be the last 5 to go.
Well, I stopped picking them up, and I only get Way of the X and X-Men.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. Yeah, where he's creating the religion. I mean that I find interesting, but all the other ones are it's just too much, man.
I wanted to like Excalibur, but I couldn't.
They really leaned into the fantasy, and it took me a while to get into it, but because that's on the second half of my list. So Excalibur, X-Men, Sword, X Factor, X Corp, which just launched, and Cable, which is ending. I think those are good, but those aren't. I don't feel like those are I need to read them immediately. The ones I'm not super on board with, it's Wolverine and the X-Force book. Those are probably for me the weakest titles. But I mean, if it was Laurel Wolverine, maybe I'd be more interested.
How was that gala? How do you say it?
The gala is super fun because what's happening is each of these books is taking a break from what they're doing, and like they're all happening simultaneously, right? So the Marauders kicks off everything, because that's the book which Emma Frost is more prominent on, and this is her whole event. And the Marauders runs the Hellfire Company and all that. So yeah, they kick it off, but then you see what the X-Force is doing because there's the security team at the gala, and then you see what the Hellions are doing because half of them are not invited to the gala because they're weird as shit, and they can't be mingling with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and all these dignitaries from everywhere, right? But obviously they cause issues. So I think what's going to happen is each one of these books is going to go through the members of their team in their respective book. The next X-Men issue, I think, is going to announce the new X-Men roster, which we had elections for. I probably voted in that, but I didn't get my candidate didn't win. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I love seeing everyone in their outfits. They let Emma Frost take over their Instagram.
Is it just shots of her in her classic costume?
It's her doing stuff around the gala. Yeah,
figures.
And then there was like a paparazzi shot where Orphan Maker tripped down the stairs, like at an event. It's very meta, but it's a lot of fun, I think. But I can see why not everyone's on board, Kyle.
I had Shelby explain what a gala was to me, and she was like,
"You didn't know what a gala was?"
Well, she explained like the purpose of the clothing. A lot of the people that go to these are dressed by designers and not by themselves, and that's why like Colossus would be wearing ridiculous shit. And it just seems kind of silly, and I don't really see the need to have fashion in comics.
These are the covers I'm getting, and these are all kind of connected. So I got Emma Frost, Rogue is on the Hellions, and then Kate Pride is on the X-Force.
I mean, the last time I remember fashion in comics was when they got a designer to do Spider-Man, or
I knew it.
do the dress for the Mary Jane
wedding dress. Yeah.
That's right.
And you know that brought in flocks of readers. Really, I mean, the fashion contingent that came into comics at that point was important, and I'm glad that we're keeping them with this gala shit.
The fact that Emma Frost has 3 different outfit changes during the night is the most Emma Frost thing that could happen in the book.
Well, can't she just make people think what she's wearing?
Maybe, yeah.
She's actually nude the whole time, and she's just making people think she's wearing clothes.
Like the artist that sold an invisible sculpture for $18K.
I saw that. I saw that headline. I mean, I've got like personally, I think it's kind of fascinating to bring in like actual fashion designers to design the outfits for these characters going to the gala, if that's what happened, right? Because it shows this kind of like intriguing overlap of various, artistic professions. I'm cool with that. But for fuck's sake, Daniel, you picked your 5 favorite X titles right now. How many fucking X titles are there if that's your top 5?
There's got to be a dozen.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 13 ongoings right now.
Holy crap! How can anyone keep up with that?
Cable and X-Force are ending, and they haven't announced anything new.
And that was a Phil Noto book, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that makes sense because Phil Noto is not a long-term artist. I don't think, but
he does a lot of. I mean, he'll do huge Star Wars arcs.
Oh yeah,
he's a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah, he just needs the time. I also love. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys something, and I think you'll like this.
All right,
because
bring it.
If you don't like Mark Brooks, I'm gonna kick you off the podcast. This is the promo image for Inferno, which I like cool. That they just call Mark Brooks like, hey, we need another. He's done all their promo images for Hoxpox and Dawn of X and now Reign of X and now this one. I like the Inferno event from the 80s or 90s, whenever that happened.
What? It was late 80s. It was right after Fall of the Mutants. It was like the next big crossover.
Yeah, I like that. I like the revisiting of Inferno that we had in whenever the Secret Wars was going on.
So this seems to be a thing, right? We've got Heroes Reborn, we've got Inferno, we've got Secret War, we've got Civil War revisited, we've got... What is Hickman's thing with, like, revisiting 80s and 90s crossovers and repurposing them?
I'm
curious.
All those,
we haven't had Atlantis Attack yet.
We did. Yeah, there was an
really?
series called Atlantis Attack that Greg Pak did.
Wait, when?
Right before King in Black. It ended at King in Black.
But not a huge that encompasses the whole Marvel universe.
It was an event book for all the Asian superheroes that were.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Agents of Atlas and Namor. But anyway, the cool thing about Inferno is if you read the original stuff, it has a lot to deal with Marilyn Pryor becoming the Goblin Queen.
Yeah, exactly. That was the original.
Marilyn Pryor right now is dead, and they won't bring her back because she's a clone. So I don't know what. So there's a lot of implications there. Like they won't bring back clones. So what happens if Gabby dies, who's Scout? She's also a clone. Would they not bring her back? Yeah, X-23 is a clone. Well, she's hard to kill. As if you're reading X-Men, you can tell that she's hard to kill. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting implications about this Inferno. But yeah, if you're gonna read any of the books, Minions is amazing. Vita Ayala is doing some dope stuff in there.
People stay away from X-Men. That way they'll go back to the original format.
They won't. No, I think Jonathan Hickman's gonna do like his full 5-year thing, that whatever they planned out, and then they'll go back to something else.
Yeah.
So we're in what, like year 2.5 maybe?
Oh dear God.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So
this will be the end of year 3, right?
But yeah, anyways, I read X-Men books, and you guys don't have to.
That's good. That's good. Thanks. You're apparently saving me a shitload of money. So
Yeah.
I am. All right. Well, with that, Josh, what are the X-Men books you've been reading?
None. In keeping with my brand, I'm the only one who didn't read comics this week. It's been a busy week though, but the only 2 things I really did this week, I watched a classic Doctor Who story for research, actually, called The Face of Evil, which is fun. It's a Tom Baker story. It's the story that introduces Leela as his companion. And I'd never seen it. I always wondered how she became his companion. It has a great hook. The outcome is kind of terrible, but the hook is Tom Baker's doctor arrives on this planet, and as soon as he meets the people of the planet, they're like, "Oh, you're the evil one." And the first episode ends with him coming upon a cliff face with his face carved into it. And they're like, "Yeah, that's the evil one." He's like, "Oh, I must have been here before. This isn't good." So again, it's got a great hook. You can watch them all on BritBox if you've got that. So I watched that, and then I finally finished.
Wait,
and I will.
One quick question. Question. What was the research part?
Shit. All right. God, I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I have had a Doctor Who short story in the back of my head for a decade, maybe 15 years, actually more than that, almost like 20 years. And Big Finish Productions, who do all of the official Doctor Who audio, every year they do a short story contest. And so I'm going to finally write my story and submit it. It's due by the end of June.
Oh,
and
nice.
But I needed to know Leela's background to do this story.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to go back and watch that one. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's why.
All right. Well, we're rooting for you.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we'll see. So
maybe we'll have you on the show as a guest instead of a host.
That'd be very weird. So the other thing I did, and I'll confess, I'm really not going to recommend this book, but I bought this book called Rather Weird. I'm saying that correctly, Rather Weird, by Andrew Caldecott. I bought it back in March. I've been reading this book since March. It is big and slow, and it's the kind of book where it took me 300 pages to get to the point where I was like, okay, now I'm into it, right? And I was just being persistent, where I'm like, I'm gonna finish this damn thing, you know? Yeah, thank you. I actually had it up. It has an amazing premise. The premise is like it starts in the late 15th century during the reign of Queen Elizabeth. And she basically orders one of her people to go murder these 5 kids. And you find out that these 5 kids are basically they're special, and they're taken in to this town called Rotherweird. And then it jumps to the present day, where an historian is looking for work, and he gets a job teaching at the Rotherweird school. And when he goes to the interview, he's told, you can't teach any history before 1800. And he's like, okay, right? And so most of the book is built around what actually is Rotherweird's history, because this town is secluded. Like, outsiders are called outsiders. They're not invited in. And when they come in, like this historian, they're kind of, people are suspicious of them. There is some darkness to what happened in the history. So it's got a great premise. It's the kind of book that I read the description. I'm like, this sounds great. And then it just has a dozen characters too many. Like, I kept flipping back to the beginning where it has like a cast list, and I would still not know who certain people were, even though I'd read that whole passage. It's a very cumbersome book. It's the first of a trilogy, and I'm really not compelled to go read the other 2, partly because, and this is to the author's credit, the first book resolves a lot. Yes, it leaves open like further events and stories, but you can get through the first book and be like, I'm satisfied.
How long is
where
it?
I left it. It's like 550 pages.
Damn.
It's a long book. Usually that length doesn't bother me that much, but God, this book was a slog. It was just a slog. And so I'm kind of glad to be done with it, because now I can move on to other books. So
300
anyway.
pages before you were hooked, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus.
It is 510 pages. I just looked up the print length.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah. That's been consuming. That's why I'm not reading any comics. I was just like, I will get through this book. I will get through this book. So anyway, that's all I've done.
No, go read some X-Men comics.
No.
No. I recommend Rotherweird before X-Men comics.
I will recommend Way of the X, because it is a very interesting take on creating your own religion.
I am intrigued by that. I would like to read that, but I assume it's going to be collected. So
Yeah.
You don't have to read all of the X-Men comics. I'm sure there's one for you.
Because there's 13 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
But hurry up, because Cable's finishing. If Cable's your favorite character, that one's wrapping up. All right. Well, I think that was it for that. That was a weird noise. So let's transition. Let me. Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? I saw some messages on our chat. I was like, what's happening? Let me cleanse our timeline here.
Really, I never. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
That's a permanent fixture on this podcast now.
That's a great transition device, I have to say.
And it only took 2.5 years to get him to actually watch the damn film.
Yeah.
Now he's going to use a soundboard to use nothing but Pulp Fiction drops.
It's all gonna be Sam Jackson quotes.
until we hack it and it's all Napoleon Dynamite quotes.
Don't you dare.
Oh, it could be worse. It could be Snyder's cut of the Justice League.
That's right. For every Napoleon Dynamite you guys upload, I'll upload a Zack Snyder thing.
No.
I need to put Zack Snyder label on my 90s Justice League VHS tape.
Yeah.
Lord help us.
Wait, you actually own a copy? Oh, wow. I feel so bad that you had to watch that. I've seen clips of it. I've tried. It's terrible.
It is terrible, but it's funny to watch. I mean, it's sad to watch someone's attempt fail, but to watch it fail so badly on every level is really fun.
Uh-oh. I think I'm in the
Yes.
I'll be sure.
Thank you,
I
Brittany.
saw it in the theater. I didn't think it was that horrible. It wasn't great, but I don't think it's that bad of a film.
Yeah, it was. Did you? Kyle needs to watch the video of Daniel reacting
Or us
Yeah.
reacting to Daniel, I guess, is more apropos.
Well, him just unloading. I've never seen Daniel unload on a film he hated so
Yeah.
much like
Yeah.
that. It was
That's
like
how I
he
know.
said something
Yeah.
to his parents, and he was just like,
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite is terrible.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite is his like
Kryptonite?
Murderer's Alley
Oh.
from Batman, you know?
That's why I don't talk about stuff I don't like, because I know Napoleon Dynamite's probably somebody's favorite movie.
I'm never
You
gonna
like when you
own
give
the
into
film,
the anger.
but
When you give into the anger, it's fun.
Alright. We'll definitely have an episode in the future where we just unload on all the shit we hate.
I'm down.
Ooh,
Well-
shit. How do we narrow that down?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to narrow it down. We can't have a 10-hour marathon.
Here's what we do. We start a Patreon, and then the bonus for our patrons is the Everything We Hate episode.
How about we just
So
since none of us have seen how we just lay into fucking Avatar.
Yeah.
none of us have seen it.
None of
We
us
just lay into a movie we've never seen.
I think that's the best kind of hate is not contributing to it at all because you just don't care about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
watched Titanic 10 times, James Cameron, before I watch one of your Avatar movies.
I won't.
But Josh
Give me
had gave us an-
Terminator.
Josh gave us an excellent segue, and we just kind of walked over it. So this today on our main topic, which I have a banner for.
Look at Banner, Michael.
For our main topic, we're going to be talking about our.
Oh God bless.
Yeah, sorry, Brittany. Yeah, I don't.
he broke our hearts too, Brittany.
Yeah.
We're with you.
It was shock. It was shock.
Yeah.
But,
When you brought up Blades of Glory, I was really like we're going into a weird place.
listen,
Wait, I'm sorry.
When
You're
Jay-
one to talk, Clay, of all the weird places you've taken us.
when Jay-Z and Kanye sample Napoleon Dynamite, they now reconsider it. Anyways, so we're talking about our favorite Patreons today. Our Patreons? Yeah.
Is it
Patrons?
wrong the fact that I throw a couple up there, but I hate to say it, I just can't afford to sponsor to any of the Patreons? Like the
Oh,
ones I
same.
want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, I
These
think
are
we
Yeah,
all,
all like base level.
yeah, we all
contributions
kind of
right now.
rotate them too. Like one thing I do is I kind of rotate them around,
Yeah.
like to try to give. So, if for those that may not know, which I don't know who wouldn't know nowadays, but if you're watching something on YouTube, you've probably seen somebody ask to join their Patreon. Patreon's a way to support creators to do their content. A
And
lot
I'm all
of their
for it.
yeah, no, I love it too. It's kind of I hate that it has to exist, but I love that it does exist because we do need something like it.
You know.
I feel like it's the natural evolution of what Kickstarter began, right? And the difference here is that rather than funding one project, you're funding a creator, right? And I think that's great. I think that's where a lot of creators need to be able to reach out directly to their audience beyond just the things they create, right? Beyond just supporting them by buying what they make.
So let's start. I want to start with Clay because I saw this first one and I was like, "What the fuck?" So let's start with Clay.
And that's
then
the one you went, what the fuck? And it's going to get really what the fuck later in the list.
Well, there's the one I could see from the notes, like the way I have my window open. But I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So let's start with Clay. We'll go clockwise again until we run out of them, and then we'll go on however long. But yeah, Clay.
I've got quite a few. I am a fan of people who live alternatively, whether they live like in a tiny house or on a boat or, so I watch a lot of videos just to see how people live differently. And Win Hippie lives on a boat, sails by herself. And it's really interesting to watch, especially when COVID hit too, to see how borders were shut down, living on a boat and how you go to get food and how you exist on the water and living by yourself for such a long period of time in an isolated area. It's just really interesting to me. So she has the most interesting sailing one. So I contribute to that one. She's got about 45,000 subs on her YouTube channel, and her intro video is probably the best thing on there. So if you look at the show notes, I dropped in the Patreon, the channel, and
Yeah.
one of my favorite videos. Next up, and see, I was surprised you guys weren't contributing to this one. Toy Galaxy. Oh, there's Win Hippie.
Yeah, I'll just show their main screen because it'll be, I don't want to click through all their videos, but we could just show. Yeah, this look. I mean, so how did you stumble into something like this one?
I think I watched like a video channel that just had people who lived in tiny houses and on boats and stuff. And so I got recommended a lot of boat videos and people who live on boats and people who sail. And it's nothing I would ever do. That's the thing. It's like, I'm not interested in picking up this lifestyle because it looks hard as hell. I've watched people have to, dock their boat and rebuild their engine, and you just go like, that's your life right there. Like you have to just stop down, and that's your house. You have to fix it to move.
And not everyone can have a barbecue around fixing the boat and bring in their Bucky friend
to hold up 5 kids and entertain them while you fix it. So
while they hit on your sister.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, she's just really interesting. I mean, and all the videos are good. She goes to different islands. I mean, it's fascinating to see. And then she'll like meet other people who are sailing. Yeah. And you get to see the world from your chair. So it's kind of fun because you don't have to get out there and do all the work she's doing. And running a boat by yourself looks hard as hell.
It is.
You said she has a YouTube channel. Yep. What's the thing that out of the Patreon you kind of enjoy them, like the reward you enjoy the most, or is it could be just supporting the creator too? Just
supporting. That was the main thing on all these is I wanted to support them because either I watch a lot of them and they have like supportable tiers. So that's the main thing. Like if I can give anyone just donate $1 because they're giving me constant entertainment, I mean, that's no big deal. I can contribute that. So, there's like one on here though. The last one I contribute the most to because I mean she has some of the best videos I've seen on the internet.
Okay, well we'll come back around to that one then.
Okay,
so let's go to I think it's Kyle. Do you have one you want to talk about?
Yeah, my first one's going to be on the list. It's podcast called Dynamic Duel. I brought up on the podcast before. Yep. Basically, they're 2 brothers who basically and they've been doing this for a long time. Basically either like they like one is a huge DC fan, the other one's a huge Marvel fan. They pit like DC versus Marvel characters, and they also do reviews for the films. And the most recent one was Hector Hammond versus MODOK. Prior to that was Batroc the Leaper versus Wildcat. And if I also put a link into the Instagram there, but they also have it to where now because Apple and I think Spotify are doing they're going to be doing this new kind of thing where basically you can put your podcast behind a certain wall and make money. Or they're trying to make 100 people. They don't want to have to do that. So to try to monetize off their podcast, they're trying to get 100 Patreon backers on the thing by the time Black Widow comes out in July. If they do, then they'll keep the podcast free. But one of the tiers, is if you do 10 or up above, they're actually doing pins that look amazing, like almost enamel pins set. So like on the Instagram page, the first set is Red Hood.
I see that link.
Yeah, is Red Hood versus what was it again? It's Red Hood versus Punisher. And then they're also cool. Deadshot versus Bullseye, and then also they're doing Wildcat versus Batroc. And it just
this one's interesting too. The
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, this pins look amazing. It's pretty like it to sponsor too. Yeah, but they're legit just good guys, and they actually won awards. Colorado, Denver just had a podcast award awards, and they actually won for like best entertainment podcast. So like these guys are true, fans, and it's worth listening to because the way they go through and do the fights is hilarious.
All right, Clay, looks like you're not the only one interested in sailing. So
yes, Brittany, she's awesome. I mean, it's really interesting to see someone live their life by their own rules.
Yeah. This Dynamic Duel sounds pretty cool. I like the
I enjoy it.
Stuff. I like that they only have 3 different tiers. Like it's very limited, but it's because they kind of know how. They want to help. They know there's only certain levels of people. Yeah. Like they're not going super high on any of this stuff, right? Yeah. So okay, I guess I'll go next since I'm on the round. So this is one of the oldest ones I've contributed to. It's called Only Stupid Answers. It's a podcast about like pop culture, and if any of you guys are familiar with the old channel SourceFed or SourceFed Nerd. A lot of like Sam and DJ who started the Patreon, they have their own podcast, and then they started doing Patreon stuff. Like they do videos and breakdowns, and I'm on the tier where we do like a video meetup every month.
Oh, nice.
But Sam left the podcast last year just because of all this stuff that was going on. But they brought in somebody named Roxy Stryer, who's also has been in the space for a long time. So they just kind of talk about interesting stuff. I kind of like it now because DJ's like the really like in-depth comic book guy, and then Roxy's more like the pop culture person. So she talks about like all these reality shows and stuff, and the pop culture news and like entertainment news and stuff. Like I would never hear about like what's going on in The Bachelor and like some controversy with one of the contestants because like they turned out to be a racist or something like a year after the whole thing finished or whatever. But then you still get the comic book and superhero stuff. So it's really nice. I think this was the longest one I've been subscribed to. And it's just really, really cool to DJ's putting out a comic next in a little bit too. So
cool.
The fact that he's put out 2 comics and I bought both of them. He's done Kickstarters for them. But if you're a patron, you get like some exclusive previews to the stuff. So it's definitely very interesting and a nice way to support something like that. Josh, you want to go next with your first one?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm adding all these podcasts to my
That's fine.
podcast while you're talking about them. While we're talking about podcasts, I guess I'll go with my first one is Laser Time. It's one of the ones that I've done for a long time. I love Laser Time. It was founded by Chris Antista and a few people who it kind of came out of the gaming journalism world.
I've listened to theirs a couple times.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of great podcasts. So Laser Time is the founding podcast, but they also have a bunch of spin-off podcasts. So I listened to their gaming one called Video Game Apocalypse. I listened to, or I used to. Oh, sorry. Good.
I listened to it. They had one apparently they were talking about for Star Wars, where they were talking about how like the original cut of Star Wars is like I think somebody actually went in and got a VHS copy of the actual movie, even though this was before you ever had portable cameras you could hide.
Yeah,
it's like how the hell did they do this?
yeah. And so the advantage of being their patron is that you get a lot of exclusive shows they don't put in their feed. One is just kind of a behind the scenes where they get together once a week, once a month, and just kind of like hobnob about stuff going on. And they're all really funny and engaging people, and they tell some hilarious stories in those. My favorite is they have a show that's like one of their shows in the stable called 30-20-10. I think I've talked about it before. The idea is every week they look at what happened in pop culture 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and 10 years ago. And it's a great show, but what they've done is they've spun it off to a patron. Well, that's still going on, but they have a patron only spinoff called 30-20-10, kind of like game edition. And so 3 of them on the show are all big gamers. And so they look once a month, they look at what happened 30, 20, and 10 years ago in the world of gaming. And then probably the one you're thinking of, Kyle, is a patron only show called Sick of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where they're all big old Star Wars fans, but they're just tired of it. So they get together and kind of revisit Star Wars and talk about stuff. And it's all good fun stuff. I like being able to support a podcasting company where I know that my money is supporting them, but I'm also getting exclusive content, right? And it's nice. I just dig that. So that's my first one, Laser Time.
Cool. Clay, you want to hit us with your next one?
Yeah, this is one I think everyone already knows. Toy Galaxy. I'm a big fan of their stuff. There's so many different things they do on their channel. It's hard to describe other than just toy history and television history. And one of my favorite episodes is their History of Manimal, the TV show. So,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I just watched that one. That and the Viper one.
yeah.
It's good.
Their recaps of old TV shows is fantastic. They also have a Toy Galaxy 2 where he does some other videos.
Yeah.
But the main Toy Galaxy channel is great. I mean, I don't think that if there's a toy out there, they've talked about it.
And as I theorized on our Discord, I think they're fans of the show because what was it 2 weeks ago? I talked about the A-Team toy, and then they did an episode on the A-Team, and I'm like, oh, obviously they're fans. I get it.
Well, great. We want to work with a lot of these people because they seem super cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one. The toys, like, I don't look at enough toy stuff, but I feel like I should. I'm gonna check this one out, Clay.
Yeah, they have 265,000 subscribers on YouTube. Their Patreon's great. Access to their Discord is part of their tier. And, it's just guys like us who, I mean, it is a lot of Gen X nostalgia. That's really bottom line of what it is it's a lot of Gen X nostalgia. So if you need to go back and time travel for it a little bit, I would just put it on Toy Galaxy and stay for a while.
Well, let me go get the DeLorean and I'll go pick you guys up.
I'm ready.
I guess we don't all fit. We need 2 DeLoreans, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's only a 2-seater.
Yeah, it's only a 2-seater. No wonder that car failed. All right. Kyle,
They did fit 3 people in it at one time, though. But it was...
listen, none of us are either Marty McFly or... what was her name?
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer Size. I think we're all... Well, I would have to drive for sure. I'll say that.
I would have to stretch
no,
the seat
wait.
all the way back.
Why are we talking about the DeLorean? Just take the train.
Very good.
But what if that
Problem solved.
What if that little kid's there pointing at his crotch?
I still love the fact he's still like,
Hey,
weak.
you. Look, that's a take. We got it. All right.
Next up, Kyle.
Patreon, Colt Cabana.
Colt
Cabana. So Colt is, of the last 10 years, become one of my favorite wrestlers. He's an independent wrestler. Had a small stint in WWE, but after it didn't work out for him, he basically decided to create his own podcast called The Art of Wrestling, which basically just talking to friends about their journey into the world of wrestling. And he's now signed with AEW, officially signed with the show, which his inaugural match with Chris Jericho was a badass.
Mm-hmm.
But he
makes part of the Dark Order now.
Yeah, and he basically does all these different things. Like he has a Twitch channel where he basically does gaming with people. But he started a new podcast called Anonymous Wrestling, where basically people can call in, and it's just a listening show where he curates calls about people, like their memories and dreams about what wrestling, going to either wrestlers being wrestlers or people just going to the wrestling shows and memories they have. It's freaking awesome. It's only 2 episodes in, but it's amazing because like one person was like talking about how like it like they saw like this one wrestler in Canada, and they were going to go and ask him. They're at this really rundown Burger King, but it's, oh my God, it's him. And him and his brothers wanted to go get his autograph. His dad's like, no, he's here eating. Sit down, finish your meal, and he's about to leave. Then you can go ask him for a podcast. And it's stuff like, or how like somebody like maybe it was like they used to watch wrestling with their grandparents. It was like the best time they ever had. So it's just he wants to hear about from these people, and it's a nice little change. So
yeah, I think one of his most famous episodes is when he had CM Punk.
Oh Lord!
And I know he's had some issues with CM Punk.
Yeah, they're no longer friends.
but like he's the one that kind of broke that whole story of like why CM Punk left and how WWE is not always cracked up to be. So I think if you're a wrestling fan, I think this one and Chris Jericho's podcast are probably 2 of the more informative outside of like anybody that actually covers.
Yeah, no,
like what culture or Dave Meltzer stuff.
He's definitely the godfather of wrestling podcasting, but he's the first one who's done anything that I can see that ever did a podcast on wrestling, and then people followed suit. Stone Cold did one, JR, Chris Jericho, but he's one who initially started it all.
Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. I didn't know much about Colt until he joined AEW, but I knew about that CM Punk episode.
He's got over like 300 episodes of the Art of Wrestling. I started listening like when it was in the 30s, so I've been listening since 2010. So it's one of those ones that like I learned about him because of that, and then and just hearing his stories about how he was when they brought him into WWE, when they brought him to the main roster, they decided to call him Scotty Goldman. And it's just like, wow, could you be any more racist?
Yeah, the Vince. Vince. Anyways.
Yeah, I know.
Vince.
Vince has no. Oh my
Fucking
god.
Vince. Yeah, sorry, I'm angry. They fired a bunch of wrestlers this weekend. I'm upset. But
Yeah, they did. They did.
anyways, so the next one I want to talk about is our friends over at the I Read Comic Books podcast. You guys may remember seeing Mike on
Yep.
the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
So I've actually been a patron of theirs as well for a long time. Their patrons very minimal as far as like they don't have like a super big goal. It's just really kind of to maintain podcast costs, like stuff like that. But you get a lot of really cool stuff. Like if you get the show early, if you're a patron, you get to be part of the Discord, which is just a fun community where you can talk about. They have a whole channel dedicated to X-Men, so like that's why I don't inundate you guys with X-Men talk, because I'm on that. I just let everything out there, and you guys may remember or not, or if your listeners are following me on Twitter, I've been a guest on their podcast a few times now to talk about Dragon Ball Z and Batman and stuff, like just kind of like the things that are my forte. They are doing a new exclusive called Candy Bar Endler Boy, which kind of goes through the episodes of Sweet Tooth. And this is something that
What a great name.
yeah. Mike records this on the Discord, so anybody that's on the Discord can join the show. So I'm on the first episode because
Nice.
we had book club yesterday. So after book club, he was going to record this, and he just records it off of his Discord. So anybody that's interested in just kind of hanging out and these, I mean, they're just people like kind of like us. They just want to do a podcast and talk about comics, and they have a big rotating cast of people that they put teams of 3 for their episodes. But it's very good. And like I said, they don't have like a super big lofty goal, but they've had some really cool people recently. They had Elsa Charretier on their podcast. They had Erica Schultz, who's been an editor all over the place for comics, because they like to promote and help creators promote their Kickstarters and stuff like that, which I think is also very interesting and probably something we'll talk about in the future, about Kickstarters and stuff that we backed and things that we look and stuff like that. But very similar to this. But yeah, I Read Comic Books. Go check them out. If you can't contribute to the Patreon, at least go check out their podcast. It's very interesting. And I think we had Mike on our show last year at some point as an interview. But yeah.
Sounds right. Yeah.
All right. Let's go on to Josh, your next one.
Yeah. So my next one is friend of the show, writer David Hopkins. I think most of us know him here.
D-Hop.
He started a Patreon, God, maybe a year or two ago. And it's great because if you join his Patreon, you're directly helping fund him writing his novels.
Yeah.
And he's been releasing his novels, I think, in a really fascinating way, which is rather than releasing a big 300-page novel, he's releasing, smaller novellas for, like $2-3 each. And they're about 100 pages.
Yeah.
I just pre-ordered for 99 cents the next book.
Wait until you get to my recommendation. But his current series is called The Dryad's Crown, and he's released the first 2 books in the series. The third one just got opened for pre-order. It comes out soon. His wife April, who is an artist and designer, has designed all the book covers. They're amazing. If you like fantasy, and I think in particular if you like fantasy that's more character driven, definitely read these books. They're fantastic. They're really good. I confess, I still need to read the second one because, again, go back to my earlier comment about Rather Weird that I've been sucked into for 4 months or 3 months or whatever. But it's next in my queue to read David's book. So
is that her art at the top?
No, that's actually a different artist that he's hired to draw kind of almost like the frontispieces to each book.
Yeah.
She designs an image, draws an image to be like the interior
Yeah,
image for each one.
I mean,
So
they're very striking. That's why I
Yeah.
think they're very like. There's a lot happening in the images, and I think, like, it's a prose book, so I don't know that I would read it, but I would.
but they are short and there are images, so
Hey.
it fits your
50%,
requirements.
50%.
50%.
Think of every
50%.
page as a word balloon.
I'll just go to
There
Josh's
you go.
book and he'll read them to me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I don't know if he's done audiobooks yet. I think David said he was going to start doing them and read them himself.
Oh, okay.
Is that right, Clay? I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
How did
I
you
feel-
guys meet David? How did you guys meet or know David?
Oh my gosh. David started coming to the comic book club back when we first started it. And I think he actually was it you or David who filled in for me when Hazel was born?
I think
One
it
of
might-
you
I think it might have been David.
may
I
have
don't
been.
remember. That was a long time ago. See, I met
Yeah.
him on the Fanboy Radio
Oh,
podcast.
yep.
They had a forum back in the day that was heavily used, and he just lived out in Arlington. So
Yeah.
there were creators from all over the place, but he was a local dude.
I remember him because I just go through the cons, and I remember interviewing him when I was trying back in 2009, 10. I was trying to do like a video podcast called "Drinking with the Arts." Not drinking with the arts. It was spirits, and we met up at this old bar up Oak Lawn, and basically that's when he had just done his not Patreon, not Kickstarter. It was Indiegogo, where he did like the small ash can kind of comic book. And he brought comics. It was a half-hour session. I've got the interview up on my YouTube channel, but we interviewed for like a half hour, just talked there about like just comic books and just him being a writer. This is back when he was still teaching in high school.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
David's great, and I guess just to explain, he has a background writing comics,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so has written numerous comics, and is now kind of beginning to work into more just the prose approach. So,
Okay. Well, it might be interesting to maybe invite him on the show.
We should.
oh yeah, we
yeah.
should, yeah, totally.
I don't know why you guys are holding out on me. Well, a potential guest.
I'll talk to him. I'm
Sure.
sure he wouldn't mind. So,
Awesome. All right. Let's see. What's next?
All right, it's
Clay.
yep.
Oh my gosh. The name of this one.
This is low impact weird, but I support this channel called Brutal Moose. He's got 788,000 subscribers, and he just it's low impact weird. Like, when was the last time you guys had a TV dinner?
oh my
yesterday.
God.
Yesterday.
He does like Hungry Man TV dinner samples. Like, he'll go out
Nice.
and get like different kind of foods and eat them, and stuff you haven't seen in a long time, like the Hungry Man or Swanson
Nice.
TV dinners. But he also will pick up blank VHS tapes and pop them in and just watch the whole thing. Like, what random blank one, or not random, but they're just unlabeled ones that he
Oh,
can
okay.
find.
They're not.
I'm going to
empty.
say, I know. I'm like, so he's watching nothing but snow. I'm like, what the hell?
And so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
random recordings from
Okay.
the 80s and 90s, and viewed through a millennial's eyes. So it's interesting. And so I put one of my favorite ones in the show notes if you want to watch. It's Dated Discoveries on Old VHS Tapes, Mystery Tapes.
Nice.
And he's just entertaining. I mean, that's the thing I love about him the most. He puts on a show. Like, he's got multicam. He's doing everything he can, and it's weird. It's my level of weird, and I love it.
Random question. How'd you learn about him?
I would watch. There was a guy I would watch who would eat food from the dollar store. No, I know this. You guys said you were going to discover more about me, but yeah, he was just a weird cat, and he would be like, "Hey, like, they have steak at the dollar store, and it looks horrible and gray," and he would eat it and
Steak at the
describe.
dollar store? Oh my god.
Wow. Oh, his poor tract. I can't imagine what's going on.
But then, like, I looked him up, and he was like a crazy Trumper, and so I was like, I can't do this. But then I got all these food recommendations, and I ended up watching him eat something weird. And then he had the VHS stuff. So the VHS stuff is my favorite stuff to watch, because it's him seeing old shows and commercials for things that don't exist anymore. And he's just like, what is this? What were they trying to sell in this commercial? Like, even the mentality of what marketing was back then is so mysterious to people. It's hilarious to watch.
I love this because this feels like early late night Comedy Central fare, or early Adult Swim fare, right? Where it's just like, it's just like this doesn't need. I mean, it will be professionally polished, produced, but the content is just random. It's all over the place. So I love it. It sounds cool.
I don't know. He's a cool cat, and I just dig the quality of his stuff. It's my level of weird, and
very cool.
Yeah. So
I guess Kyle's next. Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, should we wait for Daniel so he can bring up the images?
Yeah. Well, then
I guess I can go and talk about it. It just, I mean, this is probably Josh. One that I've listened to. It's been around since the earliest days of podcasting. But Tell 'em Steve Dave, off of the Smodcast. It's a Walt Flanagan, Brian Quinn, and then Brian Johnson, just shooting the shit at the Secret Stash, and they're a new location now where they actually have a Tell 'em Steve Dave store within the new Secret Stash location.
Oh yeah,
and it's just fun to hear them go off on the tangents. It's like I said, it's just three guys, two of them in their early 50s, one in the mid 40s, and then hearing a little bit of the Jokers. Since Brian Quinn's off with the Impractical Jokers stuff, him talking about a little bit about that. Owning a brewery in Staten Island, them having the transit of how different Staten Island is from Jersey, and just everything from the old, Kevin Smith days. I mean, this is what inspired Comic Book Men on, AMC. So it's like, we're three random guys just bullshitting about real life, and it's just fun because you realize, okay, you wonder, do I agree with them? Do I not agree with them? But I don't know. I enjoy listening to the podcast.
I got a question about, because I've heard about these guys, and Kevin Smith talked about them. Why is it called Tell 'em Steve Dave?
Tell 'em Steve Dave. Okay, so Brian Johnson, the main guy whose podcast, that was his name in Mallrats and Chasing Amy. Steve Dave. And so you had Walt Flanagan, who was the nerd. He goes, "Tell 'em Steve Dave," and so they just ran with that line.
Okay, got it. Because
does that show up in Clerks, or does it show up in Mallrats?
I thought it was in
Mallrats and then Chasing Amy. At the deleted scene in Chasing Amy, because there's a scene where Holden and Banky are walking through a comic book shop, and it's their comic book shop, and they get ragged by Steve Dave. They walk out, and then Banky throws a brick through the window and saying, say what you want. We're still making more money than you guys ever will. So it's just like, here's a check for the the fix of the window.
Okay.
I mean, that has the greatest drop of all time. Just because a guy reads some comic books doesn't mean he can't start some shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense now, because I was like, wait, his name is Brian. Why is it?
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
Yeah, but they have their Patreon, like they actually do other podcasts. They give out, like merchandise, and they basically have such a huge crowd that as they come, Tell 'em Steve Dave family are called ants. So they literally like the ant, and like it apparently they've done where the Practical Jokers have done cruise ships, and Brian and like they have a podcast called Puck Nuts where they talk about hockey. A couple, they have the Sunday Jeff show, but everybody from that whole Steve Dave have their own like nickname. So there's like Sunday Jeff, there's get him on the show, like different people that have him, but they're not using their real names. They have like their own like kind of nicknames they use for the show. So,
and tangential question: do they still do that Comic Book Man podcast?
No. You still have Ming Chen and Mike Zabsik doing I Read Comic Books. But they're not doing the Comic Book Man because the show's been over for like 3 years now.
Yeah, because that was an interesting show.
Yeah, but this podcast was the reason that show got made. Okay, because it was basically Kevin Smith going, "Hey, this is my friend," and it's like it's basically all of them doing the same shit on the
it was like
comic shop.
It was like Pawn Stars, but with like just comics and stuff, which was cool.
But it's more likable people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, cool. All right, my next one is Mortal Podcast, which I think I might have mentioned a few times on here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Get over here.
So Ben Meckler.
Finish him.
Yeah, this is a project that Ben Meckler, and this is another one that it's really just the minimum. Like, I only, if you contribute to the Patreon, you get access to like the Discord and some early access to stuff and hidden episodes. every once in a while, and there's no like tier for it. Like if you're part of the Discord, sometimes we'll watch like movies on. We watched the Mortal Kombat movies. We watched them on the Discord. We did. So Ben Meckler works and he's a writer and director and stuff. He did. If you guys watch have Netflix, he's a writer on Kipo.
On
I
what?
think that's his Kipo.
Okay.
And I forget the full name. But yeah, that's like his most recent thing. Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast. That's what it's called. But it's a pretty successful show on Netflix. But so he knows people in the industry, and when he had a Zoom call for like where we were just gonna talk about the new Mortal Kombat movie, but he invited the writer from the Mortal Kombat X comics because he knows them. He invited a whole bunch of people. If you guys watch Honest Trailers, one of the writers, Danielle, I don't remember her name, but like just people like that. And I was like, I'm on a Zoom call with some people that actually make stuff that I watch. Like, so yeah, that was pretty interesting. But during the pandemic, a lot of the proceeds from the month, he just donated them to people that needed, to like places that needed them, because once again, his patrons only really to probably cover the cost of making the podcast. It's really more of a passion project where he brings in a friend from the industry or somebody that he might have met on Twitter and talks to them about one character of Mortal Kombat, like the whole Mortal Kombat mythology, but just through the point of view of one character. So if you listen to everything, you've heard a lot of the same story because the background for a lot of them comes from the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Ben's a really funny dude. Yeah, get over here. So yeah, but that one's really fun. That's another good one that I recommend. And the community on the Discord, like, it's amazing because I've never met so many people that are so into Mortal Kombat. So
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
All right, Josh.
Oh boy! All right,
we probably can do like 2 more rounds or something like that. So
yeah,
if you want to touch on a few things, Clay, when we start with you again, if you want to touch on a few things.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna.
Well, sorry. So let's go. Yeah, sorry, Josh, and then when Clay.
Okay. So my next one is super nerdy, but I love it. It is a Patreon for a medieval scholar by the name of Dr. Eleanor Yaniga. It's called Going Medieval. She really kind of got her start, I discovered her at least on Twitter with a Twitter account called Going Medieval, which is apropos, having just watched Pulp Fiction. She's fantastic. She is the type of scholar I aspire to be, which is she is brilliant and also just wildly funny and down to earth. She's great at like bringing really, really kind of critical concepts, but presenting them in a way that draws you in. And one of the things she really focuses on is, in particular, part of a contingent of scholarship right now that is very much trying to do away with the broad presumption that the Middle Ages were all white and European. So she focuses a lot on women in the medieval era, often sex in the medieval era, but also people of color, these sorts of things. And it's fantastic. And if you become a patron of hers, you get exclusive videos each month. They're often her, which I love, her just reading texts from the medieval era, but then providing commentary on them. And then she also does an exclusive kind of podcast each month as well. They're great. They're super fun. She's engaging. She's fun as well. And to promote it, also, she just started doing a series on life in medieval England that's going to be airing in England called Going Medieval. And I'll post a link to, or I think I did actually, a link to the kind of trailer. It's the outro to an episode. So we could put that in the show notes. I don't want to take up time showing it, but anyway, yeah. Dr. Yaniga, Going Medieval. Great stuff.
Cool. All right. Clay, Here, hit us with. I know you got a few left, so
Yeah, I'm
these
gonna.
these
You
are
want me to
getting
lump 'em?
weirder as we.
Yeah,
just
this
go
is.
down to a little.
Here, let me.
I'll let you share the screen if you want. That way you can
Yeah.
go at your own pace.
All right, so what I've got here. This is Justin Wang. He's got obviously 866,000 subscribers. He is kind of an internet historian. So there's like a lot of wild stories in here from the internet, different things. If there's an urban legend, he's tracked it down. He tells the story. His shows are always entertaining. I mean, this is just a sample of some of the weird stuff. So, again, high level
Italian
weird.
Godzilla.
Your warnings have been issued.
All right.
If you want to tone it down for a bit, Wavy Web Surf does a lot of the same kind of internet historical stories. So if you're looking for whatever happened to the guy who said that thing,
Oh boy.
yeah, he tracks him down. Who is? Yeah, and his are. He has more wholesome stories. I put one of my favorite ones in the show notes, where it talks about a woman in North Dakota who used to have a food review, or she was a food critic, and she wrote a review for the new Olive Garden that had showed up, and how she went viral. And it's probably one of my favorite videos from Wavy Web Surf. I will tell you.
Did her review end with when you hear your family and then they took that and ran with it?
You know what? I'm going to tell you to watch it because you're going to get to the end of that story and go, that was very wholesome, Clay. I'm very sorry.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I do need something to make me, in my head, you need to come back to the more sane side of things. So maybe knowing that you enjoy more wholesome content will even you out a little bit for me.
Well, I will say, and again, high warning for this. I put in one of my favorite Wang videos in Justin Wang. Yes.
Yeah.
Justin
Right.
Wang.
Thanks for clarifying.
in the notes. So if you guys want to watch it, I mean, I actually would kind of like to do it at the end of the show because I want you guys to see what this video is about and just get your reactions.
We could do that. We could do it at the end of the show.
But Wavy Web Surf, Justin Wang, internet historians do some quality content that's out there. I got two more. Do you guys have any more?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kyle's got some, and I got a few quick ones too.
Okay.
As do I. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
yeah, we
okay.
all do so. Here, let's go to Kyle, and then if we get back, we'll probably finish with you, Clay, since you got two more. So, Kyle, you want to go through the ones that you still have left?
So this is a personal friend of mine. We've been friends for like almost 20 years. Goes by the artist name Pembroke Corgi. He's an artist, but basically, not his main time job. He's trying to make it as an artist, but basically does web comics called Das Pukas. He also calls himself as a cartoon historian, which he goes through and does commentaries about basically old like cartoons, like stuff you've never even heard of, and it does live drawing sessions. I will say this is an 18 and up kind of Patreon, but he does live streams and does art for certain. He's also very popular in the furry community, but basically he's a great guy, great artist. You know, like I said, he just likes having fun. He's been doing web comics for over 20 years, and like I would use his real name, but I'm trying to keep it off just because
No, that's fine.
he has an actual job. So I know some people try to keep a separate.
This is there.
Yeah.
Here's there. This is what we call. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks. I mean,
It
looks great.
He'll do video game streams where he does commentary. They'll play old video games and they'll do commentary on it. He does, like I said, he did this one. Like he does commentaries on old cartoons from like the 60s, 70s, 80s. He did a video commentary on the Michelin Man, just the history of the Michelin Man, because he's fascinated by the not the Avatar, but the what do you call I'm blanking now. What is it, like the icon for the company? Michelin Man being the kind of for Michelin tires and stuff like that. But it's just
like a mascot.
Mascot, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the history of the mascot for the Michelin Man. So he does amusing stuff, and he's just an all-around good guy. So I wanted to give him a shout out on that one.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And you have one more, two more?
Yeah. One more. I brought this on the thing. I love this channel. Again, it's like between Toy Galaxy and this one are probably the two YouTube channels I talk about. But abroad in Japan, it's Chris Abroad, who's again, I think he just turned 30 or 31. He lives in Japan since 2012. He's been doing a YouTube channel.
I love this channel.
Yeah, and he also has a podcast where he works with a friend who's still in England. He's a Japanese enthusiast, but his name's Pete Donaldson. He owns his own podcast company and does a whole bunch of podcasts in England. Been around for a while, but basically, it's him. His most recent video is he's about to launch the trailer for he does a documentary series called going through I can't even think of the name now, but basically where he goes through Japan on a trip and kind of exploring different things. But his latest video is supposed to come out now is 12 reasons not to live in Japan. But even though he says he goes, I can give you 12 reasons why not to live in Japan, but give you 50 why you should. But he's saying if you have this idea of how glorious it's going to be to live in Japan, these are the 12 reasons you probably shouldn't. And then a previous video he did with a friend where they had all this fried chicken. It's 30 minutes of them trying different fried chicken from Japan, whether it be packaged from 7-Eleven or them actually going to KFC. And then
Yeah, he has a group of people that are all in Japan that do videos that I follow, because there's one guy who does drifting videos. So they go to car places and buy junkers, get them out on the track, and then go drifting.
Yeah, between Toy Galaxy and that, those are the two YouTube channels that just bring enjoyment for myself. So I just want to throw that one out there too.
Yeah, Abroad in Japan is probably his stuff looks the most professional.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty nice, and I think everyone he's involved with out there does their own channel and has all their own cameras and stuff.
Almost. He has a couple. He has one. I forget his name now. He has one Japanese friend who's older, who's a stylist in Japan, but basically he'll be in the videos, and so it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yes.
I don't have a lot left. I do have let's see. Yeah, two more. One is artist Jesse Lonergan. I went on to his Patreon after last year. He came out with a comic book called I forget what it's called. It was a one-shot thing from Image, and it was a silent comic. And I'm gonna kick myself because I remember we talked about it on the podcast. But after that, I checked him out. I joined his. I'm not currently subscribed to his stuff, but he's got a few tiers where I supported him for a little while. But it's really cool. You get to see his process of making comics. He's always making comics, so you get to see preview art for stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it was very interesting. And then the last one here is the World Girls. They have so the Roxy Striar is the co-host of the Only Stupid Answers one that I did earlier.
Yeah.
She also has this YouTube channel.
That's it.
Where they just kind of go through and then they do kind of all kinds of stuff, pop culture stuff. They talk about food. They had been doing videos where they go out and do stuff, but obviously the pandemic kind of shut that down. So now they try stuff at home. Like this last weekend, they were we're going to try to build a Lego, and they were going through trying to build a baby Grogu. But, I mean, those are pretty complicated, so they only got through, the base of it. But, yeah, they're a lot of fun. They each kind of bring their own personality because they're all, interested in different things. So it's a very interesting conversation. And then also they have a Discord where obviously the community that they built is also pretty interesting and accepting. So it was nice to discover that community too, especially while we were just kind of stuck at home last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been so important. I think so many of us have discovered and really leaned on online communities this past year. So,
and a lot of the people that I met through there, they have their own YouTube channels and stuff. They're the ones that introduced me to StreamYard. So they're one of the reasons that, through that indirectly, it's the reason why we're doing stuff live now and doing more stuff on YouTube, and the channel's been growing.
StreamYard, give them a cut.
Yeah, StreamYard.
Yeah, come on, StreamYard.
Give me a discount. All right. Yeah, that was my last one. Josh, what do you have left?
Yeah, my last three are actually all kind of nicely grouped together because they all relate to gaming. The first of these is one that I subscribed to for a while. I actually just backed off it for a bit. It's called the Mad Cartographer. And there are many wonderful gaming map Patreons out there. And I've subscribed to a few of them. The reason I went with the Mad Cartographer, though, is the maps are just exquisite. They're really well designed. They're beautiful. They're interesting. But the other reason is because at the different tiers, if you start with the middle tier or higher, you get maps that are automatically prepared for the virtual tabletop I use called Foundry. And it's such a time saver, like to be able to go in and open up a map and all the walls are set, the lighting is set, the animations are set, the doors are set. Like you open it up and you're good to go, right? I really, really like that. And again, these maps are just interesting. And each month in the Patreon is themed maps as well. So there was a whole month of swamps. There was a whole month of dungeon pick and mix, as they call them. So it's a great way to get maps for your virtual gaming at any level. If you don't mind just getting, at the lowest level, if you don't mind just buying the JPEG images to import into your virtual tabletop and then setting up the walls and the lighting, you can do that. But if you use Foundry and you go with the middle or higher tier, you get everything prepared for you. It's really handy.
Nice.
So
okay, so these are specific for Foundry, right?
No.
Or is there like for Roll20 and stuff like that?
There's not any that are prepared for Roll20.
Okay.
Right? So what I would say is go with like the lowest level at that point, and you get basically all the files, like just the raw files, and you would import those into Roll20, and then you would have to prep them yourself. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that's the first.
Our Alien games that we do, it's on Roll20. So. Cool.
Yeah. And also, I would say that if you become a patron each month before the new theme rolls out, he holds a poll and takes recommendations. So, like, if you wanted a whole I need maps for my Alien game, right? You could propose that, and then if people vote it up, that may be a whole month of maps for you. Yeah. So, all right. So the next one I'm going to go with is one that I actually just subscribed to. It's called Pop Minis. And again, these are very specific to a Venn diagram of people that love pop culture and people that have 3D printers, which is me. So every month, and I just joined, and they're really new. They've only been around, I think, for like a month or two. They develop sets of 3D minifigures based around various pop culture entities. So June's was Scooby-Doo. July was Back to the Future. They look really awesome, and I'm excited to get in and start printing these out to see how they look once they're printed. But heck, I mean, even like for me, if I like that, because I do, if I like that Doc figure, I'm going to take it in my software and scale it up so I can print a bigger figure of it, just use it as like a statue, basically.
Cool.
So I'm excited about this one, but I also I'm kind of getting into the area of how could I create games around these figures, or just throw them as because I'm hoping at some point in the near future to get back into in-person gaming, and these will be great for that.
That actually brings up, I don't know if it's going to be a recommendation, but something I was going to bring up at the end of the show.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I want the Scooby-Doo set. I want a Shaggy, a Scooby, and a Velma.
Yeah, Josh, that's my figures.
I think I'll get it, so I'll print some out for you guys. How's that? And then we can see how they look. I need to print those Nightcrawlers for you too, Clay. All right.
We have a mystery. There's a mystery guy. It's probably a Harlem Globetrotter.
I wish. No, I think they said it was going to be one of the villains from the show, and they haven't decided which one yet. So
give me a
I want the alien head with the skull in it. Or the astronaut head with the skull in it. That's what I want.
It's James.
I want the glowing deep diver.
Yes, no, that's
giant-
what I want. That's what I want. I said astronaut, but it's the diver.
the diving mask.
So my last one is very, very, very specific. If you live around Florida, but there's a reason for it. It's called the Glorious Geeks, and it is my brother introduced me to this store that is opening up. They are actually like getting the store set up. They are getting stock. They actually just moved to a new location in the same shopping center. And what's really amazing about this store, and I'll try and find some photos. My brother goes there a lot. Is they are he took me there. They are set up where the room when you first walk in is just, again, it's like just a basic store room, right? There's a counter, there's stock on the walls. But the main thing is there are 3 game rooms, almost like in shotgun style, attached to it. And what's amazing about each game room is it is themed with specifically designed painting on the walls, tables, lighting. The first room is a Cthulhu themed room.
Nice.
The second room is a like just kind of like a fantasy dungeon room, and the last one is a superhero room. And what's cool is they're hiring artists to paint the doorways, because the doorway into each room is kind of seamlessly blurs into the wall.
Okay.
So the first one is it's all painted like when you go into the Cthulhu room, it's painted or like a bookshelf. So it's kind of blends into the wall. And then when you go into the Cthulhu room, there are these Cthulhu-esque runes painted in glow-in-the-dark paint on the wall. But the coolest one is the door into the superhero room is painted like the portal Doctor Strange makes.
Nice.
And so when you go into the superhero room and look back from the doorway, it's painted to look like you're looking into the Cthulhu room. Or the dungeon room. It's a great store. And I told him, I was like, I would pay good money to come in here and stream my games, right? You set up some cameras, I log into my Twitch account, and we do it. And he's like, yeah, we've tried that before, and people didn't want to stream. And I'm like, man, I would, if I had a store like this around Dallas, I would pay good money to be able to host, because it looks like a professional set. I mean, think like I just blanked on their name. The big D&D streaming group.
Critical Role.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. You know, think of like the rooms that they're in, right? That's what this looks like. So anyway, if you become a patron of them, you're helping fund them getting the store up and running. And what's kind of cool is I think the middle tier and the upper tier, the middle tier, they will create a mini for you. Nice. And paint it and send it to you each month. So, and then at the upper tier, you get a mini and a custom T-shirt. So it's just kind of cool. I like, even though I don't live near there, I know my brother does, and supporting the store means I'm kind of helping him out too. So check it out, The Glorious Geeks. It's they're near Hudson, Florida, which is kind of right in between St. Petersburg and Tampa.
Okay.
So,
Dope.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up with Clay.
Go for it, Clay.
With his last few. No more Wang.
All right, now no more Wang videos, but I will give you a warning on the next one, Rainbot. She does a lot of disturbing content, true crime. So this is, if you can't handle that stuff, I would avoid it. But man, she does great research, great videos. I mean, I just can't brag enough about the quality of her work. Every video she puts out is stuff I want to watch. Let's see here. And, stuff she posts to Patreon's pretty great too. I'm just a huge fan. This is the kind of content that I look for on YouTube. So this is the kind of weird stuff that I dive into. So if you want to know how I got weird, this stuff helps. But I want to finish strong with. Yeah, it does. I get a lot of weird recommendations.
A weird algorithm that he's got going. He's really testing the
But my absolute favorite person is Yara Zaid. I'm not sure. I'm probably destroying her name. She is incredible. She does videos, film critiques, and she's a millennial, I believe. She's a lot younger. A lot of the content that she's done is stuff that I don't watch: Bridgerton, Skins, stuff like that. But the stuff that I do is spot on. It's home run. This video I put in the show notes, The Forgotten Legacy of Brittany Murphy, is one of my favorites, and it moved me. It was that good. Her Patreon is completely filled with quality content, worth it. She's a great creator. And I brought this up earlier, and Daniel and Kyle looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" She did a critique of Welcome to the Dollhouse. Now, Josh, you've seen this, right? Okay. Unbelievable. She is able to take that movie, break it down for exactly what it is, and talk about the essence of being in middle school and what's it like to just be, I don't know if it's beaten down or what she goes through in that, but it's just, she nails that movie perfectly. Wow. That is my favorite thing she's done. That video made me want to make sure that she's doing more. Even if I don't watch, there's stuff in here like this Heather's Jawbreaker and the timelessness of Killer Clicks is fan-fucking-tastic.
Wow.
I mean, I want to bring about
colossal.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to, like, here's another one that she did on The Craft that was absolutely fantastic that I loved. You know, I haven't seen a lot of the stuff that, you know, kind of millennials have grown up with. So there's stuff in here I don't get. But like when she breaks down horror in Jennifer's Body, man, best channel out there. Totally worth watching if you love great film critique. You know, again, I'm paying her because I want her to make more videos. I may not appreciate all of them, but I know their quality.
That's super dope. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah,
And
here's a
she's
really
got
interesting.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no. I was going to say there's another video in here where she breaks down that 80 show and the limits of nostalgia, and you get to see an early Glenn Howerton before It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia trying to do a Fox sitcom.
That's right. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
She's also
can't praise this channel enough. All of the videos that I've watched are awesome.
I think Clay's rubbed off on me twice. I've now closed with the tab.
She's also got a Letterboxd, and I just followed her on that too. So
okay,
if you go to her YouTube page at the top, there's like a little icon for her Letterboxd account, and so I followed her there as well. So
Dope.
Yeah,
dope. All right, well, that's all the pictures we have. Man, I don't know. We'll either share all these on Twitter or post a list on our website. Something. We'll figure out how to get you guys to have all these. Because there's a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, I that's why I tried to make the show notes as thorough so that if you do download, you can go to. I put a favorite video of everything in there, but I may just tweet out at all of them and just say, "Hey, like I'm a big fan. We wanted to talk about your stuff." So.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll add my stuff because I put it on a separate document. But all right, before we wrap up the recommendations, I do have a question of the day. That just came to me in a dream. So this week we got news. It didn't come in a dream. So this week we got news that two of, I would say, my favorite current writers, but hopefully somebody else too, Al Ewing and Donny Cates are kind of just switching Marvel books.
Mm-hmm.
So Donny Cates will be taking over the Hulk after the Immortal Hulk run is over by Al Ewing.
Thank God.
And whoa!
What?
Wow!
I liked it when it first started, but the Immortal Hulk's gotten so I can't deal with it anymore. It's like
I haven't gotten that far, so
it's just so effed up. It's not even funny. I want to get back to the Incredible Hulk, not the Immortal Hulk, where it's like dealing with Satan or whatever it is. I want to get back to the Incredible Hulk, where he's a mindless brute who, Hulk gets stronger as he gets madder, kind of stuff like that. I hope Donny Cates, so if he's on the book, this hopefully bring a good story.
You know why I'm going to say support Donny Cates? Donny Cates is following huge stories. He followed Aaron's run on Thor, and now he's following Ewing on Hulk. And Thor was such a fun twist and different take that I that's why I would pick up a Donny Cates book as soon as he takes over. I mean, he could follow Stan and Jack, and I would go, hey, I want to read that.
I mean, Immortal Hulk just gotten so weird because Betty is some red infused, like Harpy Hulk now, Red Harpy. Rick is some weird kind of lanky, weird looking goblin kind of thing.
Now tell me what's wrong with that.
Yeah,
because you're selling me on that book.
Yeah, but also then. Likewise, Donny Cates is wrapping up Venom with Venom 200.
Yeah.
And then Al Ewing and Ramby, I believe, are going to take over this book.
Did you just say Venom 200?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd hear the day when we have Venom would get a 200 issues.
200 issues, yeah. It was supposed to be out already, but it got delayed a little bit. But I think it should
2
be
standalone movies?
Yeah.
It should be out this week. Yeah, without Spider-Man. Anyways. But that brings me to the question, and you guys can think about this while we talk about recommendations since I just came up with it. What 2 current writers would you like to see switch books? Like the stuff you're reading or whatever? Take 2 guys. Take 2 people. Yeah, that's why I'm giving you a little bit of time while we go through this stuff.
I'm gonna have to bow out. I haven't been keeping up on the writers, so I may have to bow out on this question.
Yeah, I might have to as well. Let me see if I can actually
find
anything.
You guys are killing it. You guys
I would. Okay, I have a couple. I actually have a weird one. I would like to take The Walking Dead, since that's only been written by one person, right?
Yeah.
And make it an anthology. And the first story, I want a Steve Niles story, a Jerry Duggan story,
okay,
and a Bendis story.
Hold on.
So just give me 3 stories from The Walking Dead from different people.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, and it doesn't have to be like a full switcheroo like that. So if y'all can think of something, I'm gonna pick Tom Taylor.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And I'm gonna put him on the Avengers book, and then I'm gonna grab Jason Aaron and put him on a Batman detective comic type of book.
No, put him on a team book. Well, the thing is, Tom Taylor's not doing any team books, so I wanted to switch. I wanted it to be like, but he could do like a Detective Comics team Bat Family type of book, like James Tynion did. If we want to get a full roster, because I want Aaron on the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, I guess Tom Taylor was doing Suicide Squad. That could be that's probably a good solve. But I do like the way he's writing Nighthawk, which tells me that I think Jason Aaron could write a very interesting Batman.
All right.
So yeah, those are my switcheroos.
All right, I've got a really stupid one. Like it's really stupid. All right, I want to switch Tom King on Rorschach with James Tynion on Department of Truth.
What? Whoa. I like that.
And just see how, and I'm talking mid-book of Rorschach, right?
Damn.
Just to see like what happens when they're each giving each other's like midpoint storyline.
It's just chaos. That's all you want.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Kyle, did you come up with anything? If not,
yeah, here's one. Okay, so current Beta Ray Bill comic writer Daniel Warren Johnson.
I almost did that one.
And just because it's been so good, throw him on to a Booster Gold Blue Beetle book.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
And then sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then the other one is basically, I think the artist's name is, let me see, hold on. Was it Greg Dugan? He's the current writer on Savage Avengers. And throw him into a DC book and let's see but I mean, the book is so like just throw out the rules, do what you want kind of thing. Let's see what he does, maybe given a certain team in, I don't know, maybe in the Teen Titans or Infinity Incorporated. Like let him go and have a no rules kind of book in DC, see what he does with there, because Savage Avengers, the current most recent issue is Conan versus Ghost Rider. or as they're taking on Cool
cool.
Golf, and it's what the hell?
Is it Robbie Reyes?
I'm
Which
sorry, what?
Ghost Rider?
No.
Which Ghost Rider?
It looks like Johnny Blaze. He's
Oh,
definitely
okay,
not.
okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got the old style Johnny Blaze costumes. I figure it's either Johnny Blaze or Daniel dressed in that costume, but it's old school looking Ghost Rider.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad we figured out the question of the day. So if you're watching this at some point, let us know what creative team you would switch around, writers, artists, whatever. Because we know that DC and Marvel are watching. So, all right. Well, let's move on to recommendations. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Recommendations. And we'll just go in order of the notes. Josh, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Mine makes a lot of sense. It is David Hopkins' Dryad's Crown series on Amazon. It's a good time to jump in because the first 2 books are on sale for 99 cents each. And while you're there, you can pre-order the 3rd book for also 99 cents. I think usually they're like $2-3. So it's a substantial savings. I mean, very low bar of entry price-wise, you know. So just get them, just read them. Each book's about 90 to 100 pages. They're great. And so, yeah, that's my recommendation.
All right. Cool. So I guess I'll go next. Oh, damn, I thought I had already. Well, first then I'll talk about Wrath of Man. That's the newest Guy Ritchie movie with Jason Statham. If you guys remember, I think, Clay, we did a trailer reaction for that, didn't we?
Yeah, because he looked very bored killing people.
He
just casually is walking through, boom, boom, boom. He looks like Steven Seagal doing karate yesterday.
The trailer was really weird, and that's the reason I didn't go watch it in the theater, but now it's out on video on demand. And I only know this because YouTube keeps trying to sell me movies to watch. But yeah, the movie was great. It didn't feel like a Guy Ritchie movie, which is weird. Like, it didn't have all those stylistic cuts, and like if you're used to any of that, you know, shaky cam and run around with that Guy Ritchie's famous for. But the story is very interesting. You get a part of the story, and then you kind of go back and you see the same events from a different point of view, and then that happens one more time to kind of lead you to this big reveal at the end. And there's a lot of action in it. It's an interesting premise, but it's definitely like a very closed idea, like a closed world, where, you know, it's not like a big trip around the world, kind of like Men from U.N.C.L.E. or anything like that. It's more like very grounded. It reminds me a little bit of what was that Gerard Butler movie that he was like in a SWAT and whatever.
Yes, I Love You.
No,
P.S. I Love You. No. But
is that really a Guy Ritchie movie?
No, that's a Gerard Butler movie.
No, Gerard Butler. Gotcha. Okay.
Also, speaking of Gerard Butler, Greenland is now on HBO Max. Go watch Greenland if you like world-ending apocalyptic movies that came out in 2020.
Well, I thought he did Geostorm and the world was destroyed in that one too.
Well, this one's different approach.
Well, he failed to save the world in the first movie, so we get to see him die in the second one?
Excuse me, sir. You obviously did not finish Geostorm.
Obviously.
So yeah, go watch that. Now, there's a whole bunch of new stuff on the whole Conjuring, all of the Conjuring movies, including anything that's like spin-off or anything. All those are now on HBO Max.
I'm going to dip into the Nun.
Max. Yeah, that one seems too scary for me. So let me know how it goes. But the other thing I wanted to recommend was this week we have the DC Pride Anthology. It is Pride Month, so I definitely want to check this out because not only is there a lot of creators that I really like, there's a lot of really characters that are part of the LGBTQI community that I'm super interested in. Just because they don't get they don't get enough time.
I was looking at the question on the left side. I was like, when was the question again? I realized that's the female version. I didn't see the hair.
This new Flash character they've introduced, Apollo and Midnighter, one of our favorite couples, if you remember from our favorite couples episode. So yeah, that looks super cool. And DC's been killing it with their anthologies, regardless of the theme.
Yeah.
Always buy them. Always buy them. $10. Tons of stories.
Yeah, so we get a lot
I really like they've brought that back. I mean, that again takes me back to like the 70s. Really.
Wait a second. Isn't that what we mentioned when we decided how we would change Marvel? Do anthology books? Was DC listening or something?
They are. They're definitely listening.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Hey, look, you don't have to pay us. Just send us money. I mean, not just send us comics. I meant comics, not money.
Oh.
I will
Send us
put in for
comics.
money. Money would be
Uh-huh.
nice,
But-
and I'll
Yeah.
send you some comics.
Send us early comics to review. How about that, DC? Are the Nice House on the Lake video got got a pretty nice view, so people either like to see that or they just wanted to see what that book was about. All right, Kyle.
Mine's gonna be a Twitter feed. I found it yesterday. It is called No Context Crossover Twitter feed. It is amazing because, like, you know me and crossovers, but this is just crossing over like stuff on TV, like, you know, the most random shit. Like, I don't know. You have to bring up the feed, but
I will.
But one of the I also gave a link to one of an image I had never seen before, and I think it's the greatest. There's a shot of I guess it was from one of the new Scooby-Doo and Batman crossovers, but it's Shaggy smacking the Joker. It's like, when did this happen? Yeah,
That's awesome.
and you go through, like, there's pictures, there's videos. There's one where it dealt with the Saturday Morning, where basically you have 4 of the original Saved by the Bell kids meeting Alf, because it was when they were going to launch Alf's cartoon on Saturday morning, you know, and it's some random stuff in here. It's just, oh my
This
God.
is this is like a cursed image. I don't like this. What happened to Jimmy Neutron?
Like,
Okay.
TMNT with Garfield.
Garfield.
That's pretty good. Michael Edge. Oh, I thought he was going to tell him a funny name. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, but I
I'll
will link
put
it.
that-
Yeah, but you got to show the image of Shaggy just knocking out the Joker.
Did I go too far down?
Wait, what's the Alf? Wait.
What's
What's the Alf one?
It's the
that's-
Saved by the Bell Alf.
Yeah, it's Saturday morning.
Ah.
It's previewing the new Saturday morning cartoon stuff. See, it's. Oh no, the greatest one is there's one in there. It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and apparently it's with celebrities. It's Charlie Sheen. He gets it wrong, and in the back end there's Kermit the Frog, and right there there's Kermit the Frog in a suit going, "Yay!" It's like, what is going on?
So are these legit?
No, yeah, it was
Crossovers?
most of them. Yes, most
Okay.
of them. There is one where basically it was an image somebody had photoshopped. Basically, new Scooby-Doo movies introduced the real Ghostbusters, and I would have loved that. But no, like here, this one, it's from the WWE Scooby-Doo movie they made, and you have John Cena. Whatever used to say he was Superman. He jumps off a cliff and stops the boulder from rolling them over. It's like, what the? See,
Yeah.
he jumped off and stops the boulder. I'm like, what?
Wait. Can we talk about the fact that the boulder turned? How does that happen? Seriously, go back. The boulder. They should have been saved when they rounded the bend. I'm not a physics expert, but I'm pretty sure the boulder goes straight off the cliff.
Yeah, let me get it off of. If that's WWE, I need to take it off the screen because they will shut us down.
Even an animated John Cena and a Scooby
Even
Doo.
an animated John Cena. All right, Clay, you have I think this is a video we're gonna watch. Right?
No. This is a
This is a different one.
Yeah, we'll get to that after this one. I went ahead and dropped the straight link to the Welcome to the Dollhouse and Middle Grade Despair
Okay.
by Yara.
Nice.
That one is so good. I really feel like if you've seen Welcome to the Dollhouse, or you went to middle school, she describes every emotion and everything that movie put her through. It's just absolutely one of my favorites. I also dropped in Shelby's Patreon.
Yep.
Nice.
This is one we all recommend sharing on this one.
Yes. She's making stickers, just random stickers.
Nice.
And it forces her to keep up a consistent
Doing her art.
artwork.
Yeah.
So we have a base level just to help out, and one you'll get stuff in the mail. You'll get original stickers. If you
this stuff in
go
the mail is not bills.
that is not bills. Yeah.
Not bills.
So it's nice to see her. It creates a way for her to force herself to do art all the time,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I get
send
that.
out stuff that people enjoyed that's completely original.
Nice.
That's very cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, go support Shelby because she
I
supports
like
the
it
show.
a lot.
A lot.
All right. Well, let's. wrap it up here. We want to watch that video that Claim wants to make us watch.
I got one last thing I want to bring up, and I
Sure.
realized, this is as of Wednesday, I'll get my second dose of the vaccine.
Heyo.
Congrats.
And on June 6th, at the Music City Mall in Louisville, it's going to be a one-day comic book show. Mark Walter's Dallas Comic Show is going to be doing a one-day con from 11 to 6 there.
Ooh, I may,
Oh, wow.
I may have
In
to
the mall,
walk
and
by.
I'm actually considering going. I mean, I'll be vaccinated, but I'm like, this would be the first time that a con in Dallas will be open for everybody. And I'm thinking it might be in such a large space, it might be cool just to go. And the guest list isn't that bad. Like they have I can't think of his name. The guy who played Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat film. Gary. Yeah, and they got a couple other like the voice of Grodd from The Flash is going to be there. One of the artists for Red Sonja. It's a one-day con. It'd be nice to kind of get back in the atmosphere since
Yeah, I did. My comic shop Sanctuary had 2 artists last weekend there, David Sanchez and Cole. I forget his last name.
Well, hell, Zeus has been doing they've had Jason David Frank and Lou Ferrigno do signings at the store.
Yeah.
So it's like
I didn't know
So that was
That's cool.
nice. I was still in there. I was still wearing a mask because I don't know everybody else's status. So because it's a comic store, it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
At the mall, I may feel more inclined to either show up in my Sub-Zero cosplay and just make the mask a part of the thing. But we did find some footage of Kyle at the show getting ready to go in.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh no, sorry. This was Kyle. It looks a lot like College Josh. I agree. But sorry, Josh.
Whenever we're not doing podcasts, we're just dancing.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm thinking if I go, I might try to take one of my small mini cameras and maybe see if I can't do like a quick interview or something from.
Footage or just some footage around. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I have this video I'm working on where I went to see that Zack Snyder Justice League thing they had downtown.
Oh yeah.
I'll be I'm working on that, putting it on the channel. So all right, let's move on to the main event.
Really, I never. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
I wish he said "motherfucker" there.
I love that you love that scene.
I do too. I was so worried you would watch Pulp Fiction and be like, it's dumb.
Oh.
No, I reserve that for Napoleon Dynamite.
We've noticed.
All right, Clay, which link was it? It's
I've
at
got the
top,
screen
right?
up if you want me to.
Oh, you got it? Yeah. Did you do share?
Screen.
You have to do share tab, the specific tab, so you can share the audio.
Oh.
So maybe you want to go back and try that again. So instead of doing the whole Chrome, just pick the tab that, like, you can choose a Chrome tab.
Well, that's weird because it doesn't. When I go share, it just says share screen.
Oh, okay. Well, let's try that. If not, then I'll do it.
It's weird.
Here, pop it in again. I'll. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. I just can't wait to see y'all's reaction to this.
If this kicks us
There we
off the
go.
stream somehow, thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Let's see.
Bye.
Is there audio?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
You're not getting audio?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Shit. Maybe you need to play it then.
Okay. Psycho Gourmet. Oh, that's from your recommendations, right? I mean, from the top.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Yeah.
Cut this whole part out.
Of a live? Okay. It's hard to cut it out of a live show.
I know.
Who knows? Okay, let's see. Yeah. I'm sure whoever, if you're still watching this, bless your heart.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone is.
There we go. All
So,
right.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Many moons ago, a nameless evil was imprisoned in a place far beyond reach.
Hurry up!
If he were ever to be released, it would spell certain doom for all existence.
Is that fear I smell? Your planet will be torn to pieces, and I will treat your angry screams as I rip.
Is this yours?
Oh,
Eat.
Oh my god.
Braxtonite, whoever wields it is able to command me.
Go over there and wait for us to come back in the morning.
You will suffer an eternity for this.
Mom, Dad, I want you to meet Psycho Gorman, or PG for short.
I will bathe in your blood.
Don't
Be worried.
everybody not unless I tell him to.
What did you three maniacs get up to?
This is getting a little weird.
This sick game must come to an end. She will enslave the galaxy into endless servitude. Kill him!
Cool.
The ultimate evil has awoken.
There's a new god in town, and his name? Psycho Gorman. It was nice meeting you.
It would be nicer if you were dead.
All right, bye.
Oh, I am on board.
All right,
This looks amazing.
all right, for the first time, I may have to take up Clay's recommendation. This is
Yeah,
Finally, yes.
I'm gonna have to get Shudder again just to watch this and Peninsula.
This looks exactly like the type of horror film that my wife and I will sit down and watch and just
oh my
love.
God.
Just love. It looks great.
That is amazing.
All right.
Now,
Well-
I just want to see everyone's reaction. I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to send the link to chat, and you guys pull it up to see the title. And that's the kind of stuff you would get from Justin Wang's channel.
What? Hold on. Damn ads.
Why? What? Don't watch it. Wait,
What the hell?
you saw the title and still want to watch the video?
I didn't actually pop up before I got into the video. My Little Pony blank.
Yeah.
What the?
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Wait, that's not what I got. Oh, I got it now. Okay. All right.
No. I didn't want to go in the second half. I just want My Little Pony and stop there.
Clay,
Yeah.
I'll worry about you, Clay.
That was the reaction I wanted.
Let me go visit.
Ah.
Do you need something? I can bring you something.
Clay, you need to get out more seriously.
Yeah, we
I
need
do.
to do a meetup because
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me step back a little bit. We all relied on our online communities this past year. Comment.
I think Clay a little more than normal, but
I don't know, Clay.
live-
I'm on board.
I live in the weird, man. I live in the weird.
I'll say this: if I was a mother, I would be like, "You can't hang out with that Justin Wang boy anymore."
wow.
If that's
He's
not
a bad influence, Clay.
If that's not an endorsement for his channel, I don't know what is.
All right. Well, before we close out, I'm gonna leave you all with our moment as in that I share with the guys this week because we've talked about this creator before. Evan Dorkin shared this on his Twitter the other day, and I immediately thought of. I guess I didn't tag Kyle, but
Oh my
yeah.
God.
But yeah, here we go. Go follow Evan Dorkin on Twitter because he's putting out milk and cheese stuff.
So this is new, right? I couldn't tell if he just
Yeah, no, I
colorized
think
an
it's
old.
new.
Okay.
It looks
I
new.
love
I don't
it.
think I've seen old stuff in this format like this.
Well, I mean, them bathing in a bathtub of blood is pretty standard milk and cheese fare. So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this, and then yelling at a TV from 1983 is also.
Whose blood is it anyway? I don't know.
I don't think it matters. They don't care.
So go follow Evan Dorkin for more.
I love
this
Evan
is weird
Dorkin.
shit that it's not whatever Clay just linked us. This is nice
God
weird shit.
bless.
I didn't even know that was a sentence that could be formed, Clay. And
What's funny is
all right,
it's
all
the
right.
second part of a 2-part video.
Here's the thing. We've got to start a Patreon just so people, like, our first thing is we'll tell you what that video link is.
we'll do one of those. What is it, Ko-fi, where you can also support people through coffee. It's not like supposed to
Oh.
invite somebody. Yeah.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
have one of those. I
If you
actually,
plug it, pimp it, man. Yeah, if you
I'll send it out from the next issue.
if you
Twitter.
if you send something to Coffee through Clay, he'll give you the link to whatever we just didn't want to talk about, and then you can decide for yourself if if he needs help or not.
I know I should just set up a Patreon for weird shit.
Right.
I will forewarn you. If you support it and Clay sends you the link, you're gonna start drinking your coffee black.
Oh dear God.
So,
Oh God. All right, that's it. Time to end the show.
I broke the show. I broke
End
it.
the show.
Yeah, there he is. Go Zemo. Go Zemo.
All right. I don't know what's coming up in the next few weeks. We'll do some weird shit, I guess. We definitely at the end of the month. At the end of the month, though, we are for sure talking sometime either at the end of the month or the beginning of July. Fucking Fast and Furious, baby.
Oh,
we got
Lord.
we got a new movie coming.
I have to watch him?
You don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You
All right,
get to
good.
talk
I've never
about
seen
them.
a single Fast and Furious movie.
You get to talk
So
about
then everyone should tune into our special Fast and Furious episode where I play the trailers for all 9 films,
Oh,
and Josh will tell us the plot and the character names just through the trailers,
God bless.
and that will
I'm
get us
on
to the
board.
9th film.
I'll try to re-upload our audio from when Clay and I, and partly Adrian was partly there, where we just talk about all 9 movies of the Fast and Furious franchise up until that point. So, yeah. Other than that, thanks. We got somebody subscribed during the show, so I appreciate that.
Hey, awesome.
Hey.
Very good.
More coverage for other stuff. More videos. Hopefully, if we do get out to do conventions or stuff like that, we'll see more videos on that. Shooting stuff from out and about. And then we'll see. But I'm excited. Hopefully we get some conventions and stuff happening. I definitely want to go check out that mall one.
I've only been out twice to have dinner, and I'm still not comfortable with it.
But it's at least not like super nerve-wracking where you're like, oh shit, like the world's gonna get me. Right?
No, I just think about whenever you go to the bathroom and you've seen the dirtiest person not wash their hands and leave, and then you got to go get out and use that handle. I feel like that in every
That's why
place
I
I go.
still use soap and wash my hands for 20 seconds. I wear
I-
a mask every time I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like,
I carry my sanitizer with my car everywhere I go. So I'm just gonna stop.
I'm supplied. I keep one in my car. I'm
Yeah.
fully stocked in hand sanitizer. I keep it, every time I get back in and out of my car, I can do gas. I'm hand sanitizing. I'm one of the guys.
The last year showed me that the only one that cares about my health is me.
Yeah.
And fuck everyone else, so I'm gonna wash my hands and do all that stuff. And if you don't, then I'll just don't worry. When I back away from you slowly
Yeah.
at the grocery store, that's on
Yeah.
you, buddy. So. But yeah,
No, I just think about cons and just the dirty people that go to cons, and it makes me less want to go to a con.
Well,
Yeah,
and con flu, But
Con
if it's-
flu.
I mean, if it's one day, it's not going to be any more.
Yeah.
It's not like a multi-day con where you're stuck into.
This smaller one would be a nice test for us to like. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't feel comfortable, you just leave and you probably miss out on what, like $20 maybe or something.
$10 to get in.
Yeah, see, like that's
It's
a
not
gamble.
bad.
I'm willing to lose $10 to see if I can.
Does
if I feel
Mark have
comfortable being in there?
a COVID policy on his site?
Yeah, I think they're following all the things, and I think it's a test because they've already got the full weekend one set for August. So I think it's a test to see how many people come out on one day. And I'm like, I'll be fully vaccinated. I'm going to be wearing a mask no matter what. So I want to give it a shot.
Do your research. Feel comfortable with whatever you want. But
I've been going out. I've been going. Like I still go to breweries. I still I'll still go. I go to restaurants. It's like, but I'm one of those guys. Even when it first happened, I was the one who had to call friends. I think I'm coming down with COVID. They had to talk me down to how worried I can be. But like I wear masks. I have all sanitizer. I mean, I keep sanitizer. In my backpack. I keep one in my backpack at one point just to make sure I can always keep a Ziploc bag. So I put my mask in there to keep it zip tied. So it's like
I had really bad allergies last weekend. On Friday, I went to get a COVID test just because I was like, it was that bad. But it was just super bad allergies because allergies were super bad that week.
Twice I thought I was coming out. It was just allergies, and
But I did feel comfortable that it was really easy to get a test. It was, it was
you don't
easier.
have to wait anymore. You can actually go into
it's easier to find a rapid COVID test and all that stuff. So, and it was negative. So I feel better about my vaccine.
Good.
And I get Wi-Fi
good.
everywhere now. So all right. Yeah. So do the research, people. Go get vaccinated because we all want to hang out.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what to do instead of a high five going forward. Maybe we'll just bow or like do one of these. What are the old salutes? So, all right, everyone, take care. But yeah, Fast and Furious coming soon. Stay tuned, and then more stuff on the channel. I know Clay's doing some stuff. He's working on some editing stuff, and then as we work on stuff, we'll just throw it out there.
And we have to talk about MODOK at some point. Get with it, guys. Come on.
Right.
I know.
I was hard for me to get through episode 1. I'll be straight up honest.
What?
Wow.
Gotta stick with it.
Maybe we'll save it for the things we don't like episode.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it was hard to get through.
Could be.
Now, look, here's one. Has anybody been watching The Bad Bunch?
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm watching the Bad Batch.
Okay.
So
I don't even know why I pay for Disney Plus at this point. Like,
Loki's about to come out.
Yeah, I'm
My
kind of
brother-
soon.
This week. This week, the 9th.
This week?
The 9th.
Damn.
Well,
All right,
we'll maybe
cool.
try to at least watch the first episode so we can talk. But we won't do a full series because we're not all Josh that can just watch the whole show in one shebang. So,
Yes. Josh notorious for binging a show and being ahead of everyone.
we're showing out. Who knew that we would play this give so much of Spider-Man 3?
It's the white man overbite that really makes it.
Well,
I want the clip of Zemo with the go ninja, go,
Yeah.
go ninja, go.
Go Ninja Go.
Well, this is our longest show ever. Thanks to anybody that's still watching. We're just renting now. So
We're
you guys
ranting.
have a good day.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Little loves you.
Hail Bebo.
I won't say it.